Hello, and welcome to the Rogue Hunters podcast, episode 12. I'm joined today with Snickle.
Hello.
Brian.
Hello.
And I'm Waves. We're going to have some fun topics for y'all today. Make sure to follow us on our Twitters. Make sure to follow Snickle on his Twitch. That's an important one. And we'll have all links to the articles in the description, along with timestamps for every topic. So let's start with what we've been playing this week. You want to start us off, Snickle?
Yeah, I can start. I haven't really been playing too much. So we played some Enemy Front this week. We made some progress. We're just doing like XP boosting right now. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but yeah, I think we're about like a third of the way done the XP, and we've only played for like 3 hours or so. So it's actually it's going pretty good, I would say. Waves and I also played some Dark Awake on the PS3. Not for too long, but just for a little bit. What was the date exactly? Okay, so I guess I would have... So I had already platinumed Hitman Absolution by the last podcast, so I actually have been playing Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. And I'm basically done it. I just have to do the dark side ending, which should be like a piece of cake. I did like a manual save right before you make the decision. So I just have to load it up, do the dark side ending, and then I'm done.
How are you liking Jedi Academy?
Dude, I really like it. Like, I talked about this in like my trophy talk that I have recently brought back. Recently being yesterday. But basically like what I was saying in that, and like the reason why I really like the game is like the concept of it is just like so like simple, but it's so much fun. Like I just think about like if they were to do this like during like the Clone Wars or prior to the Clone Wars, like there's so many opportunities for like games like this to be made, because essentially what you do is you start at like you come into the Jedi Academy, and this is after episode 6. You come into the Jedi Academy, Luke's like the Jedi Master or whatever, and you start from the bottom and you work your way up, and you just do like random like missions almost, and it's just so interesting. You visit so many like different planets. There's so many enemies that you come across, like so many different types of enemies. There's enemies that like you've obviously seen, or like characters like stormtroopers and Jawas and Tusken Raiders and stuff, like stuff that you would know. And then there's stuff that like you obviously don't, and like you're actually able to like create your own character of like, I wouldn't say any race, but there's like a very diverse selection of race that you can pick from. You're able to pick like what type of lightsaber you want, what color you want, and you can like upgrade your force abilities. You can pick from light or dark ability. Like there's just so many options and stuff, and like I just feel like they could take, like anyone could take the concept of this game and apply it to like any time period throughout like Star Wars, like any Star Wars era, and be able to like make a successful game, because like it doesn't have to have like, it doesn't necessarily have to have like a plot. Like it can have like an underlying plot, but like you could just be like doing missions. I mean, I think I've kind of said the same thing about like if they were to make like a Star Wars game that was like centered around like bounty hunters. I don't want to say like a Mandalorian game, but like Mandalorians are like, they essentially become bounty hunters after like they had their civil war. But I think like a bounty hunter game would be easy to make, or like a game like Jedi Academy would be easy to make, because you literally just do random ass missions.
What I remember liking about that game is its environments and all that are more diverse compared to Jedi Knight 2, where it's all like mostly bases or ruins.
Yeah.
And that one you go from like Tatooine to like the swamps of Dagobah and everything. I remember liking that a lot. It felt more like you were globetrotting, I guess isn't like the right word for it, but it felt more like you were going from planet to planet rather than just base to base or whatever.
Yeah, like you're right. Like Jedi Outcast, you're either in like some sort of fort, or you're in like a some sort of like you're in the cruiser, or like you're always indoors somewhere. The only time you go outdoors is like either right at the beginning when you get to the training grounds, which lasts for like 2 seconds, or like the last mission when you're going to save the training grounds. Other than that, like you're indoors the whole time. It definitely has like a more diverse more diverse planets and like locations that you visit, but like I think the concept behind it is just so cool. And like it's so simple too, but like I've never thought of it. Like you're literally a Jedi that starts from a Padawan and you work your way up by doing like missions. Like anyone could do it. But
yeah, I can't.
It has this.
I was just gonna say I can't wait to play it again.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I hope that like now that the Star Wars like IP or whatever is available to anyone to develop games, there's like more games that get developed like this, because I feel like a lot of games try to be like, even though I haven't played it yet, but Jedi Fallen Order, like that would be like a good example. Like I feel like it tries to be like too like it's trying to have like a narrative, and like that's what's pushing it, not like the environments or the combat, because that's another thing. Like Jedi Academy's combat is like amazing. Like the lightsaber combat is like amazing, and you start with a lightsaber on like Jedi Outcast, where you're playing like a fifth of the game with a blaster. So I just think, I don't know, I'm having a lot of fun playing. I mean, it's over for me basically, but yeah, I had a lot of fun playing through it, and anyone who likes Star Wars, I would like suggest that you go play it, because there's not a lot of game owners on it. But yeah, that's Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, which I've been putting most of my time into. And then I recently started actually last night recently I started playing Wreckfest, so I'm playing through that now.
Is that your in-between game for your rotation?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I guess it's technically the my in-between game. I've just had like an itch to play like a racing game, and Wreckfest is just like something that isn't part of like a franchise or something, so I can just go like play it and not have to worry about it. But I've been debating doing like Wreckfest, and then maybe even doing like Dirt Rally 2.0 after, just because I kind of want to play a racing game. But Brian and I are planning on playing another secret game as kind of like the main game in between, because like Wreckfest isn't going to take too long. The trophies are basically get max level, you know, complete all the career stuff, and then like a few random trophies that you'll get as you're just playing through the game. So it's really not going to require too much playtime, I think.
I was actually thinking about doing Wreckfest like a while ago, because it was back when I had PS Now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was one of the free games on PS Now. And it looked interesting because it looks more like a Destruction Derby type of game rather than just like a racing game, I guess.
Yeah, if you are like good at racing games, you definitely will like the game and you'll be good at it. But I feel like people who like aren't even like fond of racing games, like someone who like wouldn't even like think twice about playing a racing game, like it's still a fun game to play, because like all the rules of like racing are just thrown out the window, because like you said, it's more of like a demolition derby game. I don't know if you've ever played like Flat Out back on like the PS2 or whatever, but it kind of has like that vibe to it, except more realistic.
Okay.
I remember playing this PS1 game. I think it was called Destruction Derby, actually. And I remember that being fun. So if it's anything like that, then
yeah, I'm not sure, because I have never played it, but I mean it's just a fun game, and there's so many, like me being someone who likes racing games, and I think I'm pretty good at them. There's things about this game that like piss me off, and like I think I'm good at them. So if it's making me angry, like I don't know. It's because I look at it in the light of like a racing game. Like if I'm driving down a straight, like racing someone, whoever's got the fastest car should win. But in Wreckfest, you can literally say, fuck the guy next to me, dive bomb his ass, take him out, and then just keep driving on. Like just all the rules of racing are like out the window for it, which I think makes it a little more interesting.
That sounds like my kind of game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and like the damage physics are like very realistic. They're actually like they're realistic for a little bit, and then your car can get like so deformed that it like your like house is still driving, and then like the character model inside of the car deforms when the car deforms too.
Really? That's
Yeah.
funny.
So like your guys like your the helmet of like your driver can literally look like a tortilla. So it's super interesting, but I think it's a really fun game. It only has there's one online trophy, but like it's really easy to get done, and you can do it with I think one person. So it's just to win 20 events, but you can do like a race that takes like 20 seconds. So it takes no time at all. But I'm having a lot of fun playing through, so it's just a nice in-between game. But that's all I've been playing this week. Not too much.
Sounds like some good gameplay right there.
Yeah, you know, trying to make some progress and some stuff and get on that rotation, but also throw some stuff in here and there. Just trying to complete games. The nice thing is a lot of the games that I've been completing recently have like already been on my list, and so it's kind of helping my completion percentage, even though I don't really dictate my games that I play by like wanting to raise my completion percentage. It is nice to see that like go up as you play games.
Yeah, definitely.
Which it naturally will do, but if a game's already on your list, it doesn't tank down when you put it on and then get brought back up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I've been doing. How about you, Brian?
I did not get a platinum this week. Holy crap. But I did make progress in like 5 games. We played some Enemy Front, like you said, Snickle. Saturdays, I usually play Borderlands 3 with one of my buddies. Made some progress in that game. I did put in a service ticket for the trophies on 2K's website, and I actually got a response back.
What did they say?
Oh, I got the email right in front of me, actually. Hey there, Vault Hunter. Thanks for contacting 2K support. This particular issue is currently being investigated by the developers, so I appreciate your patience. In the meantime, you're able to go back and rediscover those areas in your own single-player game and get the progress to count towards the achievement goal properly. Just a heads up, when you're going back through the locations, you have to do it all in one sitting. Meaning you can't travel back to Sanctuary or close the game at all. You have to rediscover all the locations before doing either of those. That should trigger it properly for you. I know it's not ideal, but it's currently the only workaround we have for the issue until it's resolved. If that doesn't work, don't worry. The developers are aware of this and are working on a fix, and this is for both Master of your survey, which is discover all locations, and Tails for the Iridium Slab, which is finding all 30-something Iridium Slabs. We don't have a visibility of their progress here in customer support and won't have a timeline for the fix to be implemented. Please follow us on Twitter and at 2K support at Borderlands. As this is where the latest information on upcoming updates and fixes is announced. Please keep an eye on your social media pages for patch notes and updates in the future. If any other questions, please let me know. Thank you. So basically, they want me to do all 223 locations in one sitting to get that trophy.
Yeah, so I was actually just about to say that. So first off, if that's true, like you said, you would have to do 223 locations in one sitting, which sounds bad, but you know somebody would have done it. So if that is the solution, at least one person would have had this done by now.
Right, and nobody has.
Yeah, so I think that answer is, at least half of that answer is BS.
Or maybe nobody found out that that's a thing, and Brian's the first one to find out.
That could be true.
That's true, but
it's very unlikely, but it's possible.
It is possible, but I don't know. I just feel like that would be something, like, if it was glitched, I think that the people of this community, that would have been one of the first things that they would have thought of. Oh, we can't do all the locations. Well, what if we do it without turning the game off or going back to the hub, or like, you know what I mean? I think that someone would have thought of that.
This is the thing that I don't understand. There are 4 different planets, okay? For you to get to those planets, you kind of gotta fast travel. You can go back to Sanctuary, but you don't really have to go to Sanctuary to fast travel to them now. But it's telling me not to go back to Sanctuary or close out the game. Well, that means I would have to find all 78 locations on Pandora. Fast travel to Eden 6, do all 63, fast travel. Well, what happens if you went to Pandora or Sanctuary by accident? Then you gotta start all over again. You know? Well, so this really makes no fucking sense.
I guess my other question would be, so when you discover them, like if you were to discover one, can you discover it again? Does that make sense? Or do you only discover it one time?
That I don't know.
Because if it's only counting your first time discovering it, then this makes sense. Because I don't think anyone in their right mind would start a whole new game over, rediscover each 223 locations, not go back to, what is it, Sanctuary? Is that like the hub area? Not go back to there.
Yeah.
Like basically beat the game without going to the hub area.
Which is impossible if you start a new game, because you actually have to go on Sanctuary to get to those other planets to progress the story.
Yeah, so I don't know. I kind of feel like they're talking out their ass there, because I feel like when it says discover, like, I feel like when you go there, it's like, oh, you found this location, like it counts as a discovery. If you were to go back to a same location, it wouldn't, like, the same message wouldn't pop up, I would think, like, at least, or even like behind the scenes from like a stat tracking standpoint, it wouldn't pop up. So like, that is a little confusing.
Well, I put that email on my Twitter, right? And somebody on there, he's like, well, he's like, well, it has to be obtainable. I'm like, nobody's earned these trophies. He's like, oh, crap, you didn't know that. Nobody's earned them yet. He's like, never mind then. I'm like, exactly. I'm like, I was like, I'm just going to keep going with the game, like getting all the DLC and all the other trophies, and once those 2 are fixed, I get the platinum. That's how I'm looking at it, and then the game will be done. But
it's just kind of crazy that it doesn't work, because, like, they got it to work on the PS4.
Right, and like, apparently it's not working on the Xbox, the new Xbox either.
Like, it's kind of crazy that they managed to mess up, like, the next-gen versions only.
Exactly.
And it's basic
like,
stat
I wouldn't
tracking.
think they'd... Yeah, like, I wouldn't think they'd have to, like, really put any extra code or anything just to make the game look better. If it's anything like a PC game, you know, they just put up some sliders and then that's it. But, I don't know.
Right, so...
That's crazy, though.
But I made some progress, so me and my buddy did one of the DLCs. We almost got it done. I'm about to hit level 50 already, so...
Damn.
Let's see, that was it for Borderlands 3. I started Control. I got about 20 trophies in. I'm getting bored with the game really quickly, and it kind of makes me sleepy. I started Concrete Genie just for fun. Actually pretty much enjoying that a little bit. It's a quick, easy platinum game to get my mind off stuff. It's not my go-between games yet. Me and Sick will be doing the main one soon. And then I almost done with Tomb Raider Legend, actually. I got all the collectibles. I got, I think, one little thing left for the story, which is like the final boss. And then I beat the game on the hardest difficulty. Then all I got left is the speed runs. And then I should have the platinum in that.
Sorry, I don't have a collectible guide for that game. That was before
You got a collectible guide for the other 2, right?
Yeah, that was before my guide making times when I platinum that one, so...
Okay.
That's why.
Good, because the person I'm going with is, he's okay at doing it, but he kind of, like with the last chapter, he kind of did it really weird how he got his last couple trophies, or the last couple collectibles, and I'm like, why didn't you just grab it when you were there?
Yeah, so the thing that I've noticed about collectible guides on game... By the way, the Tomb Raider Legend, Tomb Raider Anniversary, Tomb Raider Underworld, if you guys have not played them, like, those are, like, one of, like, I would suggest anyone, like, those games are phenomenal. Like, they're really good.
I'm actually really enjoying Tomb Raider Legend. I was not expecting the whole story for, I don't want to really give out anything. It's about King Arthur, basically. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, like, they're nothing like the newer games. Like, and yeah. I loved playing Legend, Anniversary, and Underworld. I've even debated, like, doing Underworld, like, the Japan stack for Underworld, just because, like, those games, there's, like, even though they are a little, like, chunky to play, they just have a charm about them, and they're just, like, they're so satisfying to play.
Like, I don't mind Legend, because the collectibles stand out really easily, so you can find them pretty easily. There's only a few that I'm like, wow, I didn't even think about that one. Mm-hmm. They'll be there, but that was, like, one of them. That was it. I never thought I'd have to drive a forklift in a video game before. That's kind of fun.
You never played Shenmue?
Oh, no. I haven't.
But,
so, well, I'm actually enjoying it.
Yeah, that's... I would suggest them to anyone. What I was going to say, though, before I got, like, off topic, was... what I've realized about, like, those games, like, these PS3 games that were ported to, like... or that were ported from, like, the PS2 or whatever... like Tomb Raider Legend, Anniversary, I don't think Underworld was really ported, but like just these older games, even games like the Prince of Persia games, like these PS2 to PS3 games, like people usually have made guides on them, but the quality of them is just like so poor. And they're like,
because they're so old.
Well, yeah, because they're like, people did it when like the game was actually coming out and like whatever, so that's why it looks like dog shit kind of. So I've always, like, when I was doing them, I was always like, oh, you know, I don't know if I should, like, make collectible guides. There's already, like, collectible guides for it. But then, like, they're, like, some of, like, the best, like, videos on my channel because they're, like, HD compared to these other people that recorded in, like, 360p. So.
Yeah, I had trouble getting one trophy at first. Like, it didn't want to pop, so I just got killed and tried it again, and it popped on the second try, at least. And then there was the one for killing someone with a TV monitor. I had to replay that mission, like, the beginning of that mission, like, 3 times to finally to have it pop. But other than that, all the other trophies popped for me.
Yeah. I don't remember the time trials being awful in that game either.
No, because you get cheat codes. For everyone you defeat, you get, like, a cheat code. So it makes them a little bit easier, I guess.
Yeah,
Which one was the one you said you didn't make guides on?
Legends.
I didn't make guides on Legend, but I made guides on Anniversary and Underworld.
I can record the collectibles for you if you want.
I mean, it's up to you if you're gonna play it. Like,
yeah, I think I might play it soon. Actually.
I have a weird addiction. I think I've talked about this before, but like, I have a weird addiction for like making collectible guides. I don't know why. Like, I just find them to be like very like satisfying to make.
Therapeutic.
So you're gonna play Legend Wave?
Yeah, I might. Soon,
so much for putting the PS3 away.
No, I'm talking about like some of these PS3 games are. We'll get to it when it's my turn.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I think the Tomb Raider HD trilogy is, I think, kind of hard to find. Like, if you're gonna go out to like a store and try to find it, I think you got it off Amazon for like actually a good price.
I got
but
$20 off Amazon.
Yeah, I don't know. Did we talk about this in the last podcast? But like PS3 games are ridiculous with like pricing now. Some of them.
No, we should make that a topic for next week.
It's fucking crazy, dude. Like, getting some games on the PS3 is ridiculous. Like, games that you just would not think are expensive. Games that are expensive are even more expensive. Like, it's crazy. I don't even want to know, like, how much Africa is going for.
I can tell you.
But, like, we were talking about it, you know, a few weeks ago. Like, games like Lollipop Chainsaw, which it's kind of like cult classic games now almost. They're getting into that time of, like, they're going to become cult classics. Games like that are really the ones that are, like, skyrocketing.
Holy crap. Hey, so you want to sell 1 copies of Africa? I'll buy it for $20.
No. How much is it going for?
It's going on Amazon for $250.
God damn. I got 2 copies of them.
Man, that can buy you a PS5.
2 copies of Africa for a PS5. That's fucking crazy.
How much is going on eBay? That's the question.
They're probably like six. I think when I got them, they were going for. I mean, I obviously got them for less because I got them from GameStop, but I think they were going online for like 60.
50 to 110 so far.
That's fucking crazy.
130.
My one copy is like effed up though. It like so I have one copy of Africa that's like pristine, like complete, like it has a manual, like the artwork isn't effed up, like it's perfect. And then I have another copy that's missing the manual and the artwork. Someone hole punched the scan on the back, which I don't know why. That's like literally the only game I have where someone hole punched it, but whatever. That's crazy though. I have a lot of like, I would say like cult classic games. Well, at least they'll be cult classic one day, but yeah, I love playing that HD Tomb Raider trilogy. Like I really do. And now that you're playing Legend and like I did the multiplayer for like the Tomb Raider reboot, I kind of want to finish up like the PS4 ones.
Well, hold up on the PS4 ones because I want to do those as well. So.
Well, no, Snickle has already told me he's doing Rise of the Tomb Raider with me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do the co-op with Waves, just like we're gonna do Neo together, but Neo and Neo 2. But that fucking grind for the Tomb Raider reboot level 60 sucks ass. Waves has gone through it.
I've gone through it as well.
It's fucking awful.
That grind's... Ugh.
It's literally nothing, too. It's just running around for, like, 30 hours collecting shit. Like, it's not even... Like, I know grinding isn't supposed to be fun, but, like, God, it's not fun.
I got that on my last account, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I would come home from work every night and just do that until, like, for, like, 2-3 hours. And then finally, I got it done. I'm like, alright, cool. And I was like, got home on a Friday, I'm like, all I got left is the main game. I just sat and played the main game and got the game done, so I never had to play it.
Dude,
I got a new account. Time to do it over.
Yeah, the main game probably takes shorter than the level 60 grind.
Oh, yeah. With ease. That's even with collecting everything.
I think when I got it done was, like, around the time the whole big C word happened.
Oh, yeah.
Started, I guess. And I would just, during lectures, just have my PS4 out on my other screen and just like slaving away on those levels, and
I mean
it was just awful.
Alright, wait, you could do the Rise of Tomb Raider with Snickle, but then you gotta do it with me.
Damn.
No, you can do it with Snickle again.
I don't care, as long as it gets done.
I don't mind helping, but no, I did the Tomb Raider reboot on the PS3, which I did the worst one first, so I gotta do the definitive edition next, but god damn, dude. What I would do is I would actually play it. I would boost it before I would do my workouts. Which I don't know why I did that, because I would boost it and it would make me fucking tired. But then I was drinking pre-workout, so that's what like kind of kept me going. And then I would do it for maybe like an hour. I probably played like maybe 5 hours a week, so it took me like a while to get it done, but when I was in like the level 50s, I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna like power through and finish it.
See, when I was doing it, I was on my weird shift at work where I was working like 3:15 in the afternoon till like midnight. So I would get home at like 12:30 at night, and I'll be the only one up. I'm like, alright. Just sat there and be like playing it till like 3 in the morning or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. There's something, and I've talked about it before with like, this goes back to when I did like Killzone 2 and Twisted Metal. There's some sick feeling that you get from like completing those games where like you put so much time into them. Where like it sucks like doing, well, it doesn't really like suck when you're doing it, but like when you think back, you're like, yeah, that did suck. But then you're done, so it doesn't matter. But like, I don't know, because I always think back on that, like when I did Killzone 2 and like even doing Twisted Metal, like I don't even think that they suck, but like looking from the outside, it's probably like, wow, that was probably an awful week for you. And it was like, yeah, but like Killzone 2, I just sat there and shot my alts in the head for a week straight. Like that's all I did. That was my gaming for a week. You know, maybe 50 hours of that. And was it bad? I mean, I guess you could say it was bad, but just that feeling on Sunday when the servers reset to figure out if you were going to be in the top 1%, when literally everyone and their grandma was going for it, was like the most satisfying feeling to get done.
No, yeah, I bet it was. Like,
I failed one week too when I did it. So one of the weeks, the first week I went for it, you know, the trophies start to pop, and they pop in order. So Valor Grand Cross would be the last one that would pop. So, you know, I'm getting like, I don't even remember the name of them, but I got like the 3 below, and then I'm waiting for Valor Grand Cross to pop, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't make it. So then I had to do another week after, and that was the week that I got it. But like when that trophy popped, dude, that was like, I was like, I'm done. Like, it's over. I got it. This is fucking crazy. But yeah, the one thing I'll say about that Tomb Raider reboot is when you're going for the level 60, isn't there like a glitch for like the buying everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading about that, and I was like, if this shit doesn't work, I'm literally going to gouge my eyes out, because I don't think I can play this anymore.
Well, when I got it done, it didn't work for me at first, and then I realized I didn't buy everything with the first one, so I gave myself a mini heart attack for no reason.
Damn.
And then it popped, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Damn. The other thing I remember about that game was it was chunky to play, but then I remembered, like, Legend and Anniversary, and I was like, yeah, they were chunky to play too, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what you have to do for the glitch. Like, wasn't it like...
You basically had to buy all the characters, and then...
On one side, I thought.
Oh, I bought them all. Like, you buy them all, and then you close the game and open it back up, and then it's supposed to pop the buying everything. You basically get to level 60, buy Laura, close the game, open it back up, and then hopefully that trophy, that Shopaholic trophy, pops. Actually, I don't think you even have to be... whenever you unlock Laura, I don't think you unlock Laura at level 60 anyway. I think you actually unlock one of the enemies at level 60 because you have to get, like, Prestige 1 or something. But
yeah, you just need to buy all the characters. The last one is Laura at level 60. Oh, okay. It costs around 36,000 salvage for all the characters combined. Once you bought them all, quick game, then reload. It might glitch and give you a trophy, even though you didn't buy any upgrades. If it doesn't glitch for you, then you'll have to buy every upgrade too.
Yeah, actually, I wrote a multiplayer trophy guide for this game, so I mean, hopefully I'll put it out sometime soon. But yeah, it's basically you do exactly that. And then when I was playing through, I was also just collecting salvage from like the few areas around the map that would give it to you, just in case if it did glitch, I still had like a shit ton of salvage saved up so I could buy the upgrades if I needed to. Because I think they said like if it doesn't glitch, you have to basically like keep playing until you get enough salvage to buy, like legitimately buy everything.
I did the same thing. I was playing the multiplayer match anyway, so I might as well just grab the salvage and do something.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be another franchise. Like my whole problem, I mean, I don't know about you guys. We still have to get to Waves games, but I don't know about you guys, but I have like a problem where like there's so many franchises that I want to do, and even though I'm doing like the alternating franchise like rotation thing right now, there's just so many that like I'm like thinking about like maybe I'll put 4 games into the rotation instead of just 2.
Wait, I got the 3 games in my rotation. I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, that Resident Evil franchise looks really nice right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope, keep going. Nope, just keep going back to it.
I will add RE to my rotation because it's been requested a lot. I will add it to my rotation when I finish all the multiplayer for all of the RE games.
So never.
So I will not add that to the rotation until I finish all the multiplayer. But I am actively trying to finish it, so...
This weekend, we'll start it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but... Yeah, those are the multiplayer for some of those RE games is got to be the most boring multiplayer I've ever done in my life. But
yeah, but for me, no platinums this week, but made some progress in a couple games, but I should be close to like 3 platinums right now, actually. So
nice. Yeah, I technically didn't get a platinum last week either, but
oh well, it happens.
I will be getting Jedi Academy done soon.
We can't all be me.
Well, listen.
All right. Well, since I'm done and Snickle's done, what did Waves get done this week?
Let me pull up the list.
We've been recording for 40 minutes.
I could have
5 minutes. You're telling me you don't got the list out?
I could have had a platinum last week if I actually streamed it. I'll just put that out there.
What did you want to stream?
Well, it would have been Jedi Academy. But I didn't stream. I could have technically got it done last night, but I didn't stream.
Why didn't you? You should have just streamed last night.
Right.
See, this just sounds like excuses to me.
Exactly.
Listen, okay? I don't want to hear it.
You know what? Every time Snickle doesn't stream, he makes me want to start a new account.
No, don't say that. Listen, I try my best, okay? I gotta deal with a bunch of people with no brains on PSN2. So
we'll talk about that later.
Sorry.
This past week, if we're counting Sunday also,
We're not.
I got 3 platinums.
No, we'll count Sunday.
So Resident Evil, I guess we can't really count it because I think I talked about it on the last podcast, but I got Resident Evil 3 done, I got Control done, and I got Persona 5 Royal done.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
And then I played some Need for Speed The Run randomly for some reason. And Snickle and I started Dark Await.
Need for Speed The Runs. You guys must really, really like, you must love the game Control, huh?
I don't even like. I don't know about Brian, but I don't hate it, and I find it interesting, but I don't know what it is.
It makes me
but
tired.
It makes me tired. It makes me sleepy.
Mm-hmm. I don't hate the game. It's not good. It's not bad. It's there.
Yeah, it just, and then the trophy. I was looking for guides and shit for this game, specifically the DLC. A lot of those, there's one that requires you to get all the collectibles, which are 56 collectibles, I think, in one of the DLC.
Yeah.
But all the collectible guides are ass.
So
they don't have you they don't have you go in one area and then pick up all the collectibles there in that area. They're have you hopping up and down the map everywhere, and I'm just you guys are making this way more complicated than it needs to be. And then some of the guys are oh, this is how you do it, but then they're going too fast through the menus and everything, so now you can't tell which place they teleported to and all that.
Oh, geez.
And then I was low key thinking about making my own guide for this game because I couldn't find good guides, and at that moment is when I gained respect for Snickle because his guides never got me lost like that.
Exactly.
I mean, that's why I started making them.
What?
But
I haven't touched the DLC yet for the game. But after Waves told me this, I'm kind of dreading it. But I know if Waves could do it, I know I could do it. So,
What are you trying to say?
nothing. I didn't want you to take it in that way either. But
well,
after it came out, I'm sitting there like, man, he's gonna take this the wrong way.
You know what's weird though, Waves? Because you mentioned it, is all the big guide makers, people like Power PYX, I don't want to mention them, but PS5 trophies, even achievement hunters like Maka or whatever, or Harry 94, these guys that are kind of known, they never make trophy guides for DLCs ever. I don't understand it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's weird.
I make them because if I'm gonna get the platinum, I'm getting the 100% too. So I'm gonna make the guides on DLC because I'm playing through it. But I never understood that, especially someone like Power PYX. I don't watch his guides because I obviously make the guides. I don't really watch them unless it's a game that I'm not gonna make guides for. But I've noticed that about him is he only puts games out for new games. For the base list, never any DLCs, never anything that is more than a month old. You won't see a guide for it.
Yeah, I noticed that too when I was looking for the collectible guides on Control. Mm-hmm. First of all, there was no guides in English. And like the top ones whenever I looked up for I think it's the Foundation DLC. It's called.
Yeah, it's
the top ones were all like Italian and like German and French and all this, and I was like, I don't understand what this. I don't understand what the words are saying here. So then I like pause the video and then I see how much down he is from like the top one. So then I'd go through like all the numbers and then like hope that they're all the same for every single person.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. It was just I did not have fun looking for guides on that. I also noticed that I think it's the Foundation DLC doesn't have a guide on PSNP. Yeah, no.
That's the only one that doesn't?
No, not the Foundation, the AWE.
Yeah.
One.
I see that.
Man, I could be sitting on a gold mine here. I could probably fucking make a guide on this shit and get some views.
It's
AWE is like definitely the easiest.
Right.
It only has one trophy that's kind of annoying, and it's because it's random chance.
Which one was that one?
It's a vending spree. Destroy 80% of the altered vending machines.
Oh.
So you just gotta farm them out, really.
So what? You just gotta destroy vending machines?
Yeah. So there's like a route you should take or whatever, but you just gotta destroy the same vending machines, and then there's a chance that they'll be evil. And then if you destroy them and they're not evil, then you have to back out to like the main area of the main game and then load back in, so like that they'll all load over again.
Okay. Well, there's only 4 of them, so
the game's also like kind of it's probably because I was playing the PS4 version, but it was super buggy for me.
I haven't read into any bugs yet on mine, so and I'm doing the PS5 version.
I did the PS4 version. I played it on my PS5, but I had the 4 version on my list already.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I'm gonna.
You don't want to start the dollar list, okay?
Yeah, and but I was talking to you guys like when it happened to me. I had a trophy pop. I had the video. I don't have it anymore, but I had the video of it popping. You know how like the PS5 takes a video or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the screenshot of it popping. And then I went to go check my trophies, and it said it didn't pop. So then I just did the thing again, and then it popped for real that time, and it took a video and the screenshot again.
Yeah.
And
that's weird.
And then it did it. So for that trophy, it was to do 5 countermeasures or something like that. I think it was. And so I guess the counter just fucked up or something in the game. I don't know. I guess the counter just fucked up or something. The stat tracking of it. So then there's another one where you have to do 10 of them. So when I got to that, I got 10. I got the trophy to pop again.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went to go check my trophies, it didn't say that. It said that it didn't pop.
Yeah, you gotta do 5 board countermeasures and 25 board countermeasures.
Okay, so not that. It's the other one. It's like something.
Psych missions?
Where is it?
5 side missions and 10 side missions.
No, it's Bureau Alert. So it's complete 1 Bureau Alert. That's the one that didn't pop for me. That popped for me, but like didn't show up as popped or whatever.
Those when I did, randomly pop up, right?
Yeah, they're random.
Okay.
And then the complete 5 Bureau Alerts, I had when I hit 5, counting the first one that I did, it did the same thing again, where it popped the trophy. I went to go check my trophies, and it wasn't popped. And then I had to do 1 more Bureau Alert for it to actually pop.
That is weird.
I never had a trophy ever do that to me, and that's like the first time that's ever happened to me. So,
well, I think I was telling you, I've had trophies pop, but then when you go to the list, like they're not there, but then like the next day they're there. It's almost like they like lag behind, like you would sync it, it wouldn't pop it, but then it would be there the next day or whatever. But Yeah, that's like really strange. The fact that you went back and did it again and it like popped for you is like even like weirder.
And I had 2 videos and 2 screenshots for like the same trophy.
That's fucking crazy.
It's weird. But I had the game crash on me a couple of times, and I enjoy like the atmosphere and everything of the game. It was super. It just made me super sleepy, and at one point at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna play the game for real and everything, but then I like only do like 20-minute bursts. Not 20 minutes. I do like 10-minute bursts of the game. I was like, I'm never gonna get this game done because I just get sleepy every single time I play it. So then I just turn. There's I forget what it's called. I think it's the assisted mode or something like that. You can turn on like 1-hit kills and infinite health and recharging abilities. Your abilities recharge like basically instantaneous and stuff like that. So I just turned all that shit on and just flied through the game.
I think you guys had an issue of a boring game, because I mean I've had that happen before. Like I remember one game that I specifically remember that would literally put me asleep to play was when I was playing through Assassin's Creed 4, like the story mode, not like exploring around the map, just like the story mode, and I was like, this is so fucking boring, like literally doing nothing. Like this is so boring, and I put the game down for a while and eventually came back to it. But yeah, that I hate when that happens, especially when you like the environment of the game and everything, and it's just like the story's boring as hell.
I gave up on the story eventually. I just kind of skipped through everything.
Yeah,
I was just like, all right. Then I finished it and I was like, I still don't understand anything that happened, but I don't care.
well,
Resident Evil 3 for like, what's up?
I was gonna say, you were mentioning that like the guides that you found for that were in like different like languages and everything. That reminded me of back when I was doing Dante's Inferno, and the only collectible guide at the time was like this like Italian dude. And like you couldn't understand what he was saying like at all. Like he was speaking English, but like he had like a heavy Italian accent, and he was recording everything with like his phone or whatever camera, like recording his TV. And I just remember I was like, damn, that was my opportunity to like start making a guide, like start making the guides, but I didn't.
No, yeah, I kind of wish I made a guide for Control, because I probably could have alleviated some issues for some people, but it's whatever.
I'll get around to it one
Fine,
day.
don't help the homie out.
I thought at some point I was just like, I want to get this done with already.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
And then,
I really don't see the hype for the game. I got bored. I'm getting bored with it, and I don't like if. I won't hate on anybody that likes it, but to me, I don't see where the hype is.
Well, we talked about it. The company Waves knows, because I don't remember for the life of me. But the company that made this game made that game.
Oh, Remedy.
Yeah, Remedy. They made the game. They made that game on Xbox. What was it called?
Quantum Break.
Yeah, Quantum Break. So yeah, I knew Waves would know. I think that got the same response on Xbox, where like it was this game where like the concept and everything of the game was awesome and people were like excited to play it, and then it eventually came out and people were like, this is fucking boring. Like this, like there was something that was just so boring about it. It may not have been like the concept of behind the game, like the story or something, but I remember just people like shitting on that game because it was so boring. And it sounds like Control is the same way, sadly.
To me, it is, yeah.
It's like, it's got interesting mechanics, and it's got like an interesting world, and I'm sure if you're like one of those people that reads through like everything and they like knowing the lore of whatever world they're in and all that, I'm sure you'll enjoy this game 100%. But and like I even got like curious about the lore. Like at first I was like, oh, what is the hiss and all this other stuff, but I don't know what it was. Like, I wouldn't even say that I got bored of it. I was just like,
you just wanted it done,
I guess, at that point. But
yeah, I mean that's how it is with like some games. Like you're just like, I want to get this done. I want this over with. Some games you can do it fast, and some games you can't, and you either put it down or you fucking chug through.
I'm sure if you're an Alan Wake fan, you'll enjoy the Alan Wake DLC more. I was gonna say, for Resident Evil 3, I kind of have the same issue that I had with Persona 5 Royal.
Which is?
There's already a list in the game for like that are like achievements or whatever, and the game doesn't make you do them all.
I don't get that, man. I don't get that.
And first of all, like Resident Evil 3, like people were not joking. It's so fucking easy to get done. Just ridiculously easy. All you have to do is just. I was looking at the guide and it said, "Oh, on your first playthrough, just play through the game, and get all the collectibles." And I was like, I mean, if you're smart, play the game on easy. Don't use the item box at all. Yeah. Only use one healing item. Get all the collecties. And do all of that on your first playthrough on easy. And then you only really have to do 3 playthroughs of the game.
Oh yeah, and whatchamacallit, get the weapons off the... Oh shit, what's his name? The...
Nemesis?
Yeah, thank you, Nemesis. Get all the hit him so you get the weapon upgrades off him.
Well, yeah. That's for the collectors, yeah.
Well, the thing that's crazy is like that's the same concept with like RE7. Like, I mean, you could spend like you could do RE7 in like 5 playthroughs if you wanted to, but like literally RE7 is like the same way. Like first playthrough, play it on like easy or normal. Don't use more than whatever 3 healing things. Second playthrough, play it on Madhouse. Third playthrough, do the speed run, but don't use the item box, or use it like 3. I think you're supposed to use it 3 times because like you physically have to use it. Boom, there you go, done. Like literally 3 playthroughs, but I think people like add more to it for some reason.
But I was gonna say, like, I think that's just like a new Resident Evil thing, like starting with 7, I guess, where like the platinums are just kind of easy now. I wouldn't say they were hard ever, but like they required you to do more than this. I don't know. All you have to do really is just do that as your first playthrough, then grind out some kills with like the assault rifle and the shotgun, and maybe the pistol if you don't have enough points. Buy that infinite rocket launcher, and then you basically have the platinum at that point.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, but was it fun to play?
I mean, I have my gripes with it because I'm a big Resident Evil fan, and they took out a lot of this stuff from... This is supposed to be a remake of the original one on the PS1. They took out the whole clock tower section. I think they took out like a whole enemy type. They took out like a bunch of stuff, but I kind of just miss these games in general. Like these types of games in general, so I personally had a lot of fun playing it.
Like linear games?
Well, just games with like... I don't know, I guess it's like linear, but like games that don't take themselves too serious. Like every game now has to be The Last of Us, every game now has to be like Grounded and all this other shit. And
woke. You have to have a woke game.
I just kind of miss these games where it's like, hey, there's this big fucking monster. Do you want to fight it or do you run away? If you fight, we'll give you like shit. And then like there's like cheesy one-liners in the game. Like there's a part where you get out of the sewers and you walk up on this bridge and the nemesis comes running out and he's on fire, like flailing his arms, and your character just says, "Bitch can't even swim," and then walks away. And shit like that. I don't know, I just kind of miss games like that.
Yeah.
Why is there boss puzzles?
Yeah, that's actually a good point, Waves. I feel like everything that comes out nowadays is trying to be like the most like serious or like the next like game of the year. Like obviously no one wants to put out like a shit game, but like if people just keep following the same format, like games will never evolve.
Well, that's why I kind of like Capcom games, because they're like you
Doing their
can
own
find
thing.
some seriousness in the game if you really look into it. Like there's some like deep lore shit in Devil May Cry if you really want to look into it. But at the end of the game, at the end of the day, they just want to make fun games.
Yeah.
You know? So that's their main priority, is making the game fun. And not to like knock on stories. Like some of my favorite games have like amazing stories. Like Nier Automata and the first Last of Us. But also I feel like a lot of games now have kind of lost, like, they're not trying to be games anymore, they're trying to be movies, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, because you had like games like it obviously started before, but like, you know, like games like Uncharted got like they were in the spotlight, and it went to show that like you can make a linear game that's like a it feels like you're playing a movie. I mean, one of the biggest things, and I think we all agree on this, one of the biggest things that's like so annoying to deal with now is that like every game wants to be like the next big open world game, the next Witcher 3. Like, how about you be the next of your own game? Like, stop trying to copy The Witcher 3 and like make your game. Like that's one of the things that like I like despise about like the new trilogy for the Assassin's Creed games. They're all like, we want our game to be like The Witcher. We want to make an RPG. No. You had a game that like no other game was like it. You had Assassin's Creed, and now you're trying to form it into something else. Like, why?
Yeah, like Assassin's Creed whole thing was like parkouring and shit like that, and
Yeah, it was like parkouring.
now you like don't even do parkour really, because the map is so huge and there's like no real like buildings to jump on and all that.
Yeah, it was like parkouring. It was like having like giant like, you know, churches and structures and stuff to climb on, and you know, there was just like the story actually made sense. There was a modern day and a back in time story, you know? Like none of that exists in the new Assassin's Creed games, like the new trilogy, other than like maybe Origins. Like it really like doesn't exist, and it's just like, why take something that you've already formed into like its own type of game and then say, oh, we want to be the next Witcher 3. No. Why don't you stay Assassin's Creed? You don't need to be the next Witcher 3. Just be Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like so many games try to be that way. Like, oh, we want to be the next this. We want to be the next that. One franchise that I'm happy like hasn't done that. I mean, I haven't played the new ones, but it seems like they're kind of staying that way, is like all the Hitman games. Like Hitman has never gone to like try to be like a different game, more stealthy. Like it's just stupid fucking AI assassinating people. Like it's just the same funny shit year after year.
Yeah. Yeah, and like it's not to knock on like games with like ridiculously grounded stories and stuff. Like you can have that. I'm not saying you can't have that, but like it's also like, it's kind of like when The Last of Us 2 came out. I feel like another reason like a lot of people didn't like it when it first came out, among all the other stuff, was that it was already a depressing year, and you also have this super depressing game.
Yeah,
and it's like that's what turned me off a bit. Like when I was playing it at first, was like it's already a depressing year. I don't really like want more depressing shit in my life, but like forgot what I was going with this, but I guess that's where I'm at right now. Like I just want to play fun shit right now, and
Right.
And like when it comes to like I read this thing recently, like they're thinking about rebooting the Powerpuff Girls. It's completely unrelated to video games, but it's kind of related to what I'm talking about. They're thinking about rebooting the Powerpuff Girls as like 20-somethings, and they're like, oh, it's gonna be more grounded, and more serious and stuff like that. Like at that point, it's not Powerpuff Girls anymore.
Yeah, it's gonna
Right.
flop at that point.
Um,
Well, I mean, I guess like
It's
another good example of that is like that's evolved over the years, which I guess it just goes to show with like, you know, how games are evolving. But like, even I would say even like the Grand Theft Auto games like throughout the years, like they're like released during like different times, but like I feel like they go like back and forth. Like the first like few games weren't like, I wouldn't say they were super like serious, and then like GTA 4 came out and it was like, nah, we're making like, this is a serious fucking story. Like no jokes going on here other than Roman wanting to go bowling with you every day. Like no jokes at all. And then GTA 5 comes out and they're like back to like their same like bullshit that they were always on. Like with just like over the top shit happening.
yeah.
Which, like, that's what it should be. It's a game. Like, the whole point of playing a game is it's a game. It's something that you shouldn't really experience, like, in reality. That's why I never really understood, like, even though I've played them, like, simulators to an extent, like, unless you're, like, making a simulator to, like, make fun of something, like, why do people want to, like, play a simulator? Like, it's like farming simulator. Like, imagine if you played farming simulator and, like, your crops grew at the rate of, like, normal crops. Like, at that point, I'm playing a job. Like,
Yeah.
I get home from my job to play a job. This is so much fun. Like, it's kind of dumb, but whatever.
I know in Europe, the reason simulators are so big compared to, like, other games is that, over there, for, like, the longest time, they had, like, really strict guidelines, for what would be released over there, especially Germany.
Mm-hmm.
For like the longest time. So like the games that you would mostly play back like in the 80s or the 90s were like simulator games. Even like early even like early 2000s. It would be stuff like Euro Truck Simulator or like Farm Simulator and all that shit.
Which, like, I understand some simulators, like having like racing simulators or something makes sense because like most people are like racing for like a hobby, but like if you have a simulator of like something that could be a job, like why? Like, and don't get me wrong, like I said, I've played simulators, but like I remember, what was it called? Like Job Simulator came out, but I think it was kind of memeing on like the simulators to basically say like, this isn't actually like a job simulator. It's kind of like a joke, but like,
oh yeah, the VR one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I never like understood that about like games are games. Like that's what they should be. They should be something to kind of escape you from reality. They should be fun to play. And there's definitely going to be games that are serious, but I feel like a lot of games try to be like super serious nowadays.
yeah, and I feel like it's to their detriment sometimes. Like, I like Ghost of Tsushima. I love Ghost of Tsushima, and it takes its story very seriously. But like, once you're out of the story, I want to say it's gamey as hell. Like, you're not going to be doing, like, tornadoes with you're not going to be doing, like, fucking, what's it called? Dynasty Warriors shit on these people, but, like...
Killing, like, groups of 500 at a time. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
But, like, you're still doing some shit that isn't realistic. Like, you're not going to be able to, like, jump from a tall-ass building, stab some guy with your katana, and then be completely fine and shit like that.
I think the Ghost is actually a good example because, like, Ghost is so fun to play and it's very satisfying to play, and it doesn't seem like too like over the top, like unrealistic. But if you sit down and think about it for a second, you're like, hold on, I've literally murdered like 2,000 guys. Like, is this realistic? No, probably not. But like, you don't realize it unless you like actually sit down and think about it.
Well, like another example that we talked about earlier is Uncharted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's basically an Indiana Jones movie if you just take just the cutscenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say like the only one that really takes itself seriously is 4.
Yeah, I would agree. One kind of, too.
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah. But, like, when it comes to the gameplay, you can do some, like, fun-ass shit. Especially, like, with 4. you can like jump on a dude and like punch him and take his gun, and then like you can just do like a bunch of shit, and like, but then you like contrast that game to like The Last of Us, where like Neil Druckmann straight up said we don't let people use the word fun when we're doing this game.
Yeah.
And like, sure, there's like a lot of things that aren't realistic about The Last of Us. Like, obviously, the zombies aren't realistic, and I'm pretty sure if you throw a brick at a guy, he'll knock out. He won't just like get stunned for a little bit. But like, it like works to its detriment sometimes, and it's trying. I get what it's trying to do. It's trying to be like Resident Evil 4, but it's more like it's like a mixture more of like Gears of War and Resident Evil 4, where you move all clunky and your aim sucks because you're supposed to be a real person.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's like a shit ton of sway and everything.
Yep.
And that's like one of the things a lot of people, like when the first one came out, talked about not liking, was like the shooting mechanics and
the movement.
And I think if like the first game didn't have like a good story, I don't think a lot of people would have finished playing that game. But then you like,
mm-hmm.
but then you like compare that one to 2, and it's kind of like the reverse. 2 has like, personally, like some of like the best stealth mechanics and like shooting mechanics and stuff. Just you can do some stupid ass shit in that game. But people don't like the story.
Yeah. I mean, I guess what it comes down to is like we said, like a game should be a game, and
yeah,
it should feel like, you don't want to feel like, it is good to like play a game like where you're a superhero or whatever and feel like you're like godlike, but it's fun to like play a game where like it feels realistic, but then if you sit down and think about what you're doing, it's like, yeah, no one would be able to do that. So it is unrealistic and fun to that extent. It's like you said with Uncharted, I remember like one of the things was like, if you didn't have like a primary weapon, if you killed a guy with a primary weapon, it should like launch up in the air and Nathan Drake would like catch it and then you could use it right then and there. But
yeah.
like that would not, like, that's not realistic at all, but like it's fucking cool. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, and that's like a thing that like games have always kind of, I don't know, like I've always used games as a means to escape like just shit,
yeah.
right?
Real life.
The real world, real life, because you know, real world can be shitty, and and it's also like kind of like those cheesy like 80s action movies, like, and 90s action movies, like True Lies or whatever with Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
I just love shit like that. Like I played when I played Persona 5 Royal, like that game to a lot of people is just like, oh, it's turn-based, so you just press like some buttons and that's it. But it's like everything else surrounding the game, like, I don't want to spoil anything for the final boss, but the final boss is just like one-liners and like shit just escalating and everything, and then like Devil May Cry is like the same shit, and I don't know, I just miss games being like that, and I like that we have more grounded stories and game stories that like take themselves serious. I'm not gonna like say that I want all games to be cheesy and all that, because if they were all like that, then we probably wouldn't have gotten Ghost of Tsushima, and that would have been a mistake and all that. But I just miss games like being fun again, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be better to have a grounded story and like unrealistic gameplay than having an unrealistic story with a like a grounded, like realistic gameplay. Like, so I guess I
think that's what drew me into Yakuza at first.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't play Yakuza until Kiwami came out, and I think that was 2018, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, at first I was just looking for an action game, because at that point I still thought Devil May Cry would never happen again, and Bayonetta was not happening. There were just not action games coming out. So then I found a video of that, and that game I feel like does like the does a perfect job having like kind of grounded story. Like there's still like there's some ridiculous like soap opera shit that happens in that game, but it's still like and cutscenes, it takes itself seriously. But outside of the cutscenes, like you've got a guy breakdancing to like beat up thugs and shit and all that.
Yeah, that's
and you got like all the mini games and all that, and like I feel like that's like the personally I fucking love that shit.
that's what makes it fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if it was something super realistic in story and gameplay wise, I don't think I would have gone to it. And I think that was like my issue with what's that game? It was like set in like 1800s Bohemia or some shit like that. The one where you can like there's a trophy for beating the game as a virgin.
Oh, Kingdom Come Deliverance?
Yeah, that game. It was just like I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to make more simulator-like combat with the knights and shit. But that shit was boring and annoying and complicated. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that there's like a place for that, and it's good to play a game like that all the time. But like for every game to like strive for that, I definitely feel like it like could be annoying. And yeah. I don't know why games like I get it, games like piggyback off of each other, but like no one like plays The Last of Us and then they like 5 years later they say, well, this is like the best Last of Us comparison ever. Like, no, like people care about like what the next game is going to be. Like, not that you're copying a game that was good 5 years ago, which is like, I'm so tired of hearing that with like The Witcher. Like everyone's like, oh, they want to be the next Witcher 3. No, be the next of your own game. Like, don't, you can take concepts from that if you want to, but be the next of your own game. Don't try to copy. That's like the motherfucker that copies your homework and you're like, hey, you can copy me as long as you like don't make it look the same. And they copy you word for word.
Mm-hmm. I just thought about another comparison I wanted to make. This one's obviously not grounded, but Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
I love Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, but if I had to pick between like just for fun playing between that game or like the Force Unleashed 1, I would pick Force Unleashed 1 over that, just because the Force Unleashed 1 has so much more fun like combat and shit like that, and like Jedi Fallen Order is just basically Dark Souls. Yeah. Well, like the Force Unleashed 1, you can like there's like the Force repulse and you can just do like fun shit, and I miss that type of game.
Yeah, I mean that's even like the Jedi Knight games are like that. Like I would say they kind of hover in between, where you know you're not like super simulator. You still have like the cool Force abilities, but like I don't think any Star Wars game will ever go over the top as much as like Force Unleashed does with like the Force abilities. Yeah, to just make you feel like a literal god, but
because you are a god.
That I mean that is true.
In Jedi Knight, you can like do fun shit too. Like you can run on the walls and swing your lightsaber while you're running on the walls, and like you can do some stupid shit like force grip them and then just hold them over a bridge
and drop them.
Yeah, and like Jedi Fallen, I'm not trying to shit on Jedi Fallen Order. I like that game, but on Jedi Fallen Order, like you can't do any of that shit. You can force push them off a bridge or something like that, but you can't. You won't be like grabbing them and throwing like your lightsaber at them and then like chucking them into another guy.
Yeah, I just think it like that's like, yeah, I like you said, it's a good game, but it's like its own type of game, and like it's almost like when you watch Star Wars, like you're looking for that like over the top stuff, and you're expecting like, well, if I'm gonna be a Jedi, like I'm gonna be more powerful than anybody else that's like gonna be around here. But like I feel like in Jedi Fallen Order you probably feel that way, but it's probably not like amplified to make you feel like you're like way over like the stormtroopers and stuff that you come across.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, kind of a shame. Unlike, you know, what's his name? Galen Merrick, who's like, hey, there's a stormtrooper here. I'm gonna launch this motherfucker 3 miles to the right.
Straight up bringing a fucking Star Destroyer down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat this motherfucker with this motherfucker.
Yeah. Literally pick up a stormtrooper and throw him around into all the other stormtroopers that are around the area. Like, it's just crazy. But
I'll end it there. I don't want to, like, keep talking about it. Thesis statement. Make games more fun.
make games. Don't try to make them too serious.
Movies.
Well, I mean, I guess it's good to make them serious, but don't do it all the time.
So, I think that's everything we've been playing this week.
Yeah.
Hey, another good 1 hour plus
hour
intro.
15 minutes. Have y'all picked up anything for this week?
No.
I mean, I guess technically I picked it up, but my Hitman 3 for the PS4 came in.
Oh, nice.
I got that situated, so yeah, that came in. But yeah, that's I think that's all. That's all I've done.
I'm too poor to get anything, so
That's okay.
I was saving up some money, so the card's almost paid off. So I'm trying to save up a little bit of money to pay it off quicker.
I feel
you want to hit us with the server shutdowns, Nicole, if there are any of note?
Yeah, so I'm just looking through the forum post here. There's been nothing that's been added from last week, so basically the only things that are going to be going down in the future are on March 11th, Frozen Synopsis Prime on the PS3 and the Vita, May 31st, WWE 2K20, June 1st, Switchblade. So that's all that's here. There's people in the forums that are talking, I don't know why, they're talking about Hitman. Probably people just saying, like, can I do the contracts and whatever, which you can do the contracts in the new Hitman games, so that's not an issue. They just shut down, like, the co-op, like, sniper missions or something in Hitman 2.
I saw something about Mortal Kombat, like, before we started.
10?
Yeah.
Well, there's been stuff happening with, like, this started, like, a while ago, but let me pull it up. We got Mortal Kombat 10 done a while ago, but I think it was, like, the invasions or something. I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the invasions, like, were, like, stupid or something, and they, like, stopped.
I mean, you were talking...
Yeah.
My bad, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say the invasions, like, they went down for a while, and then they came back up, and then they
went away again. Yeah.
I guess they were, like, away for good now, so...
Damn.
I guess that's another unobtainable for me.
Well, they may... I mean, someone earned it on January 29th. They come out every week, so, I mean, the 29th...
It was, like, on a Wednesday, I thought.
So someone earned it on, like... They only come out for, like, one day, I think. I thought, like, it was, like, only Wednesday.
They're available for 24 hours, and it's, like, every Tuesday or Wednesday night.
Yeah, so it looks like people were earning it on the 13th of January, and then some guy somehow earned it on the 29th, which is a Friday, which doesn't make sense, so he probably hacked that, and I guess people haven't earned it since then. But this happened with MK10 a while back, like a year and a half ago. Like, the invasions just, like, stopped showing up, and then, like, WB was like, oh, yeah, we're sorry, they're coming back, and then when they came back, I hopped on that shit when they came back. I was like, I'm not missing that.
I think me and you were, like, looking at it almost every day for, like, 2 weeks straight.
I was on it. I think it took me a week or two. No, I might have done it in 1 week, because the invasion trophies is you have to play an invasion boss fight, you have to win an invasion boss fight, you have to complete an invasion tower, and then you also have to deal, which this is like the one that sucks ass, you have to deal 1,000 total hits during an invasion boss fight. Like, you can keep
you don't
doing
gotta win the boss fight.
The one at the bottom says you have to win an invasion 1v1 fight. Oh, that's not the boss. That's like when you're playing and you get invaded by someone, like, randomly.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, that one's different.
No, the boss fight was because the boss, you only had like 2 minutes to beat the boss, and he could barely get down off one bar.
Yeah, you don't have to actually beat him, but There was
No,
like
you got to get that 10,000 hits though.
Yeah, you had to do. There was the invasion. Let me rephrase. So because I know what I'm talking about here. You had to do the invasion boss fight, which you didn't have to win, and they were basically like impossible to win. You had to deal 1,000 hits during that boss fight, and then also there was a tower that would come out every week that was usually pretty easy, and then you would get the random like invasions when you were playing. Which, has anyone earned this recently? No, so no one has earned any of the invasion stuff. So it may just be something that happened, like what happened like a year and a half ago, but I would suggest someone's probably kept up on this. I mean, Sergen wrote the guide, so he's probably kept up on it to say if it's unobtainable or not. But
I guess that's something people should focus on if they want to get that done.
If you want me to be honest, if you want me to be honest with you, I would keep an eye out on any game that WB has published. So, like, because all of their games have been having, like, some sort of server, I wouldn't say issues, but they've been, like, shutting down some of their games. Like, I'm just going back right now. Like, they had the Fear games. Those were shut down a while back. They have Gotham City Imposters. Lollipop Chainsaw, god damn it.
Oh, fuck.
MK9. They have Injustice and Injustice 2, so god damn. Should probably do those. Batman Arkham Origins. DC Universe Online, of course, but I would never go near that. Obviously, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, Mortal Kombat 10, Dying Light, Mad Max. Do we see a theme here? Hitman 2? Do we see a theme going on here? So, I would
probably do Lollipop Chainsaw soon.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for Lollipop Chainsaw, there is an online trophy, but it's just for like, I'm gonna look it up right now. It's just for like being on a leaderboard. So let me see if I can find it. It's called International Zombie Hunter, registered in world leaderboards for all stages, and people earned this yesterday. So still up. Would suggest to get done. Maybe I'll throw that in at some point, but yeah. Server shutdowns, keep an eye out on WB games because those things are getting sketchy for some reason. That's all I have to report.
So, all y'all, get your WB games done. And we'll be getting into the meat of our... I say the meat of our episode, but we're 123 in now.
The meat has
we'll
already
say the
passed.
Second dish of the podcast.
The second dish of the podcast. Our topics. And our first one is CDPR getting hacked. And let me just reread what got taken out.
It was like source code, wasn't it?
Full copies of source code from Cyberpunk 2077, The Witcher 3, Gwent, and an unreleased version of The Witcher 3, which I'm guessing is the next-gen versions, or maybe it's like some alpha state of the game or something. We have also all your documents. Oh yeah, it's stuff relating accounting, administration, legal, HR, investor relations, and apparently more. And they encrypted all their servers thing, so that means they can't get it back unless they have backups of it. And they're gonna sell it to gaming journalists to destroy their public image even more. And CD Projekt Red is basically saying they're not going to negotiate with them or anything like that. If they get their stuff ousted, then they get their stuff ousted. And but yeah, this is personally, this is a shitty situation.
Yeah. I was gonna say this is like pretty bad. The one thing I don't understand with I don't understand. Well, first of all, I don't think we really know like when this happened exactly. Well, they said yesterday and they tweeted it out today, so I don't know why I don't know why they made this public.
I think it's like the same reason why Capcom had a pretty bad leaking hack recently, where they had like source code leaked out and everything. I think it's the same reason to like, because especially with CD Projekt Red, I think they own GOG, which is like a PC marketplace. So I think they have to let people know and all that.
I mean, obviously they're doing it as like a CYA at this point, but like, I just don't know why they made it. I mean, obviously they made it public so they can cover their ass, but at the same time, I really don't know why they would make it public. I mean, I guess they're kind of just putting it out to say like, hey, like this happened. It's better safe than sorry, but at the same time, like I think if I was in this situation and I was CD Projekt Red, I don't think that I would make this public information until something actually happened, because like they did take this stuff, but they say in their post that they're not going to give in and they're going to do what they can do. They're going to do the necessary steps to mitigate the consequences of such a release. Well, why not just wait until to see if something actually happens? Because like this could be something like like this could end up like not being a big deal at the end of the day. And
well,
like, and it's not, again, it's, I don't think this is not right. I feel awful for them for this, like, to happen, but like, I don't know. It's a slippery slope, because it does make sense to put it out, but at the same time, like, I don't think I would personally put it out unless something actually got released, and then I would say, like, this happened, we're like currently mitigating the consequences, we're going to, you know, we're not giving into what's going to happen, rather than saying it literally the day after it happens, like, shit, like, them doing this doesn't do anything other than covering their ass to say it happened.
Well, yeah. I guess it's better to have control of the story before it, if it were to actually happen or whatever.
Yeah.
Than to just one day wake up, not one day wake up, but one day you wake up to see everybody now has your source code to The Witcher 3 and all that. I just wanted to say this is like, I understand Cyberpunk released in a very shitty like state and all that. It was just not good. But I think we said it back then, like death threats and all that shit, like, no, calm down, cool it. It's a fucking video game.
No, this is like unacceptable, and like it's not like you said, even though Cyberpunk released in like a shitty state, that doesn't mean let CD Projekt Red deal with it at their own expense. Don't try to be some vigilante that's going to give them their justice. No, let the sales and everything give them the justice that they get from releasing a bad game. Don't take it into, like, what makes you think you can take it into your own hands to put repercussions to a bad game that they put out. And I just want to go on this. So in their release, they talk about how an unidentified actor gained unauthorized access to our internal network. Now, I'm not really sure what they're going with here. I don't know if they're going with saying that someone like legitimately hacked into their network and was doing this remotely, or someone like physically went into their office, got onto a computer, and took the information off of their internal network. I'm not really sure where they're going with this. I mean, at a job that I worked at, they would extensively go into like security measures to have, like, for stuff specifically like this. Like they would always do trainings and stuff and say, like, if you see someone on a computer that you don't recognize, they should be like if you just see someone sit down and log on to a computer that you don't recognize, go tell somebody. Like, because that's the easiest way for someone to get files. But I'm not sure. The wording that they go with how it happened is kind of
weird.
Yeah, it's weird. An unidentified actor gained unauthorized access to our internal networks. It almost sounds like someone physically went to their office and gained access to their internal network where all of their stuff is saved, and then encrypted it and stole everything, which is crazy that someone could literally just go in and do that. Like, jeez.
Yeah, I wonder how they got, like, if we're right. I feel like we are right because they're saying internal systems.
Yeah.
But, I wonder how they got in. Like, did they just dress up as a janitor and then, like, got inside or some shit?
They went full Hitman.
Well, some
He went full Hitman.
Well, yeah, some people like that. They'll do it that way. They'll just act like they work there. They're a new employee. Like I did trainings for my, for the other company that I worked at, and that's what they would go into. Like, they would go into all of that stuff. People will dress up. People will say that they're working for this company. They're just here to talk to you. And while the person's over here in the conference room, they fucking dip once they get into the room to a computer real quick. But that's crazy that it does sound like someone was physically there and did all this. It wasn't remotely done, because I would assume if it was remotely done, they would have been able to lock it down, unless they just have like a garbage IT group, which I don't know how you could be like a game developer with a garbage IT group, but I guess anything's possible.
Game developers be doing some stupid shit.
That's true.
It's like, the PC. I probably shouldn't go into depths, but whatever. I know, like, for the PC version of, like, Saints Row 2, it's fucked, and, like, people have been asking for, like, a patch for it for, like, the longest time. And, what's the developer? Volition?
Yeah, Volition, right? I think made it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They always said, oh, we can't fix it. We lost the source code to it. It's like, how do you lose your source code to your game?
Yeah, you would think that they would back it up and save it. Basically archive it and save it so that nothing could happen.
Now it's on a USB drive that got thrown away.
No, that shit. And then what made me laugh was, like, fucking, when did Saints Row 2 come out?
2008, maybe?
2008. So, like, about 10 years later, they're like, we found the source code.
What? Have they had someone, like, actively searching for 10 years to find it?
I guess. I don't know.
Like, what?
Maybe some guy was just cleaning out hard drives and found it.
That's fucking...
Nah.
That's crazy.
They probably fired somebody and they fucking took his... going through his desk and like, oh, we found it.
No, someone for sure left and said, I'm putting this source code on a hard drive, taking it with me, and then deleting it after I leave.
I know, like, the other one that's kind of funny is I guess not funny, but for Blood,
it's funny,
by Monolith from the 90s. Monolith lost the source code to that game, so, like, every version, so, like, unless you have, like, a physical copy of the original game, every version of that game that you play that isn't the physical original game is not the actual game that you're playing. It's like a reverse engineered version of the alpha of Blood, because there's no way that you can make, like, an actual remastered version of that game without the full source code. So, like, when I played Blood last year, I bought I forgot what it's called. It was like the Blood something remastered or some shit.
Remastered? No. I can't. Every game's a remastered.
The developers, Night Dive Studios, I think is their name. They also did the Doom 64 remastered. The way they had to do it was they had to, when they remastered the game,
just so casual now.
they had to like get the alpha version of the game, reverse engineer that game, get some other, like, fan made mods, put it in their engine, and then, like, basically build the game from the ground up again.
That's fucking crazy.
But like, but yeah, I'm just curious how they got in, and also, I understand CD Projekt Red fucked up.
Security measures, obviously.
Yeah, but also, you're fucking with like the employees' lives, and I'm not even talking about like the CEO and them. I'm talking about like
every day
the actual artists. Yeah, the coders, the artists, the environment artists, all of them. You're fucking them up too.
I don't understand how you can't have like they talked about how they encrypted it. Well, how do you guys not have like a backup, or like even you were talking about like Saints Row 2, like how you just lose the source code? Like for me personally, for my job, like when we design something, whether it's a road, a bridge, whatever it is, when it's designed and you submit plans, no matter what phase of the project is, you always archive whatever those files are. So if you ever have to go back to it, you always have that. And then the IT group always runs backups of everything. So if I'm working on something today and I fucking delete it on accident or something happens, I can contact my IT group and say, hey, I need you to pull whatever this is from yesterday at 4 p.m. And they'll literally pull it for you. Like, it confuses me how their security is just like, they're just like, oh yeah, we like, shit's encrypted, can't do anything, sorry.
Yeah, no. I'm guessing they do have backups.
They have
to. Because the hacker went out of their way to even pull that. No, not pull that out, but to mention that. So I'm guessing they have to have one. But
yeah, they said it right here. Also, we have encrypted all of your servers, but we understand that you can most likely recover from backups. Basically, the hacker just said there, if you have backups, fuck my plan. Like, basically what he said. Like, okay, they lose like 1 day of progress on whatever the hell they were doing. They get everything back. Like, I mean, I guess technically the hacker still has the source code and all the documents, but like,
the way the hacker like worded this entire message makes me laugh.
He
seems
like a child wrote it.
He seems like he's in like 8th grade or something. Yeah. Hey mom, I just hacked into CD Projekt Red's office.
Your have been epically pwned.
Yeah.
Just that first sentence is like,
it's definitely someone that's pissed off about like Cyberpunk. Hey mom, I just hacked into CD Projekt Red servers and I encrypted everything and stole all their information.
I just tried to ruin millions of people's lives.
Hey,
they ruined my favorite game of the year.
Good job, Timmy. Way to go, son.
You're a retard.
Like we understandably gave shit to like Cyberpunk 2077 and CDPR for it, but like we even said it back then, like no death threats, none of that shit. Like,
right? Yeah, that's not working.
Even this, like,
speak.
And if this dude gets caught, he's going to fucking jail.
Yeah. Speak with your wallet.
Even if it was worth it, like you shouldn't do this shit. Like,
well, that's why things like the law and the judicial system exist. It's not so vigilantes can take things into their own hands to decide what a company deserves. No. The judicial system will decide what the company deserves. That's the whole point of it. Like, that's why there's lawsuits against them. That goes to court. If the court decides that that it's not true, what happened is not true, then shit doesn't happen to them. That's how it works. Doesn't matter if you agree or disagree with it. That's how it works. So I just think that the whole situation's definitely interesting, and I guess we'll find out in, well, it's been 20 hours now, so we'll find out in 28 hours if the information gets leaked. And,
well, I'm guessing this would be the 24th hour now, because like it was yesterday that it got hacked now.
Well, I guess technically,
so 24 hours and 13 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. CD Projekt Red did, like, they put a follow-up to the article that they put out, and it said, to our ex-employees, as of this moment, we don't, they said possesses. Okay, they don't possess evidence that any of your personal data was accessed. However, we still recommend caution, i.e. enabling fraud alerts. If you have questions, please write to our policy team. So, I guess what they're trying to say is this hacker did not gain information to their ex-employees, but they should still be cautious.
Mm-hmm.
But that's that.
You know, this whole situation's... I tried to not talk about Cyberpunk and CDPR, especially because we mentioned them for like 3
to 4 weeks.
for 4 weeks, for 4 episodes. But this was kind of big, so we had to talk about it.
Yeah.
But
and this time it's not, well, it is kind of their fault, but it's not really their fault, so.
I don't know, even if it was their fault, I don't think that should have happened.
No.
You want to take this next one, Brian, since it's your topic?
Oh, yeah. MLB The Show 21 Collector's Edition. Let me pull up the tab. So basically, the Collector's Edition this year, the Steelbook, which is really nice looking, is Jackie Robinson. So they're going to do for every Jackie Robinson, every copy that has Jackie Robinson on it, SIE is going to donate $1 to the Jackie Robinson Foundation until, I believe it's December 31st of this year. Pre-orders for the collection editions are now open. To me, I think it's a really neat thing to do, and I hope they do this going forward, because I don't think they ever did this with MLB The Show for the past months, actually, where it went to a certain baseball players' charity group, so that's kind of cool. I really do like the Steelbook. I might get that.
Yeah, it's nice to see that people are giving back. Well, did we talk about it last week with the Show 21
games
going to be on the Xbox One X as well, for Xbox?
Yes. Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty nice. I mean, Waves had some, I don't know if you would call them speculations, but apparently Sony was kind of forced to release the Show 21 on the Xbox.
Sense, because
So
look, they're the only sports franchise that wasn't exclusive.
So apparently, I read somewhere, I forget exactly where from, but when Sony, because I guess they were re-upping on their licensing agreement or something.
Mm-hmm.
MLB, the organization, was like, hey, you can have it again, but one of our stipulations is that you have to put it on other consoles also. And I guess Sony, rather than like losing the MLB license, which I guess they've held since like the PS2 era.
Yeah, it was really far back.
We're like, okay, I guess we're going to keep making these and make money on both.
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense for them to do it because, like you said, they either do it or they lose it. I'm just, I'm kind of irritated because, like, I remember back in, like, the mid-2000s playing, like, the EA Sports baseball games, and they were fucking amazing. And then I played, like, I think I played 2K10 or something, and it was awful. And then, the show has always been, like, an amazing baseball game. Brian and I have even talked about doing the show games, the ones that we can do, at least. Like coming up, but yeah, I mean, I guess if they lose it, I don't know what would happen because I don't know if they have leverage. If the MLB will be like, well, we'll go to EA then. Like, I don't know if I don't know the behind the scenes leverage that was going on to kind of make them do it, but I don't know why Sony just didn't do it in the first place. It's not like the show was. I don't think I've ever met anyone that bought a PS4 or bought a PlayStation to play the show, just to play the show.
Well, like, what's crazy is that I never really stopped to think about it even back then that, like, MLB was exclusive to PlayStation. Like,
Well, no.
I didn't know it was exclusive till, like, 2013 or 14.
I think it was. I think it was 20. Hold on. It was until. It was until 20. It was until 2012. So the last baseball game that was released would have been released on the PlayStation and Xbox would have been MLB 2K12.
See, like that's kind of crazy. Like,
I mean, they held it for this long. Yeah.
You're almost going on 10 years.
Like, do I blame Sony? No. Hell no. Why the hell would you want to give up the MLB contract? No. Just put it on multiple platforms. You make more money. You know?
I mean, that's like the whole thing with like exclusive games in general. Like,
my biggest peeve with this whole thing, not with the whole collector's edition, of course, but like this part, is that you got the Xbox fanboy like, oh, I guess it wasn't selling well on PlayStation. Oh, I can't. Why would I pay $60 or $70 for this game when it's going to be on Game Pass? I don't think it's going to be on Game Pass.
I don't. It definitely won't be on Game Pass unless Xbox pays Sony out the ass. I don't think it'll be on Game Pass.
Right. I think the reason like that it's happening is that like it's kind of like with Star Wars and EA. It's but it's a little bit harsher, really. MLB fans are like just baseball fans, I guess, are everywhere, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the only real good like baseball game was MLB The Show for like the longest time. Especially once they like Sony and MLB like signed that exclusive contract.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so then all these other like every baseball fan in the Xbox place and every baseball fan like on PC and all this other shit. The only baseball games they could play were like shitty knockoff baseball games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like the same situation with Star Wars, where it was just EA that was doing it, so then we couldn't have like other people work on it. Only that this time it kind of sucks even more because it was only stuck on PlayStation consoles.
Right.
Yeah, and like the position would be that like if you wanted to play an MLB game, you had to buy a PlayStation. But like I said, no one was buying a PlayStation to play an MLB game. I think people would just pass on it than to actually play it. So at the end of the day, I think that this works like good for Sony because it is a sports game. It's hard. It honestly is hard, and I don't think it's ever been done to have a system exclusive sports game. Like, and I'm surprised that they've gotten away with it for this long because the show, like you said, Waves, the show goes back to I think like either the mid 2000s or the late 2000s.
I think so.
Like 2008, man, maybe before that, 2007, maybe. And even back to then, those were just on the PlayStation. Like, yes, you had the 2K MLB games. Before that, you had EA was making MLB games. But like the show was always on the PlayStation. Like that's crazy. But I guess Sony was the one that was dishing the money out for the publishing or the licensing, so it didn't really matter. Like the MLB was still getting their money at the end of the day. But it's been just on the PlayStation for this long, so I think it makes sense. Put it on both.
I'm okay with it.
It gives Sony another stream of revenue because, like I said, people are not buying the PlayStation just to play the show. Let the Xbox people buy it. Sony's going to make money off of it. I'm fine with it.
More people enjoy the game. And if this is the first year they're doing this foundation thing, it's the best time to do it because it's going to be on different platforms, so they can earn more money for the charity.
Yeah.
I also read something else. You don't know about this yet, Snickle, since you haven't played any of the new Sony games yet. But on the new Sony games, they have like this new splash screen or whatever It's like almost like a movie logo like type of
Oh,
thing.
kind of like the
Yeah,
Marvel
it's
one.
with like Aloy and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Apparently that's still going to play on the Xbox Series X version, but it's going to have different characters on it. So it's not going to have like your PlayStation exclusive characters. It's going to have like just
PlayStation exclusive characters. That'll be great.
It's just going to have like baseball characters, not baseball characters, but baseball players and stuff like that.
Oh no!
Damn, they should
Man,
have
dude,
done it.
Aloy, like these are all the games you're missing out on.
Damn, that would have been funny if they did it with the exclusive characters.
It's the only time God of War will be on their screen.
Damn.
No, they got Fortnite now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
true. Yeah,
Fuck. Okay, it's the only time Aloy will be on your screen.
that's fucked up. I mean,
Oh no,
Yeah.
they got PCs.
Damn
it.
the whole like Jackie Robinson Foundation for them to like to donate to is like good. I think that's like a good thing to do. And I mean, what better way to do it than when you're selling a baseball game? So
Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely. Oh, they're gonna make so much money off of this game this time
yeah.
for sure. I mean, they were probably already making more money, a lot of money on the PlayStation, but now it's like on both, they're going to make even more money.
Like, the
Yeah.
show is so much fun to play.
yeah, the show is fun.
Especially if you're playing with somebody. It's so much fun.
The funny thing is, like, before we even had this as a talking point, I messaged Brian today, like, hey, you want to do the show games?
Yeah.
Just like as a random question, because like they are like super fun to play. I kind of miss playing baseball games, but I feel like baseball fans are just like not a like thing anymore
Well,
as well.
I'm from I'm from like Chicago, so I got two baseball teams that hate each other. You know, so I gotta rep my White Sox. So
Yeah, I'm by Philly, so you know it's not.
oh,
I got diehard sports fans around here.
I've gone to the Texas Rangers stadium, so you know.
That's something. It's better than nothing. It's something. But
Hey, I seen Chicago win 2 World Series. I'm good.
but yeah, I guess we'll end this here. It's nice that they're doing that.
yeah, more games do it, so you don't look greedy.
Yeah. Now, this is one that I don't know if it's really big news, but
It happened.
it's news anyways.
I would say it's kind of big news. I mean,
So, Embracer Group is the parent company of THQ Nordic and I forget what that other one is.
Coach Media.
Coke Media,
Yeah.
yeah. They bought Gearbox.
Who makes Borderlands and all that.
Who makes Borderlands. But I guess who owns the IP for Borderlands? 2K or Gearbox?
I think 2K.
I think it's
in
2K.
all honesty.
I wonder if they'll still be able to like work
They
together.
said they were going to keep it on. So I think Gearbox is keeping the 2 Borderlands. Because there is a Borderlands movie being currently made as well,
with Kate Blanchett.
and then somewhere. Damn, they sold for
Jamie-
$1 billion.
How
They
much?
bought them for $1.3 billion.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't even see the price.
I'm looking at like a lot of other like companies that were like acquired, and they're always in the billions. Like these like big companies.
Well, Borderlands
Dang,
3
so-
wasn't a flop, so I can understand why it real. Plus, you got a movie deal going on right now with some actually decent stars.
I mean,
So the initial starting price was $363 million.
who the hell was bidding
And-
on them?
I don't know. And then it rose up to $1 billion.
So wait, it says
With-
Gearbox developer Borderlands.
And it's $360 million of it is shares, and the rest is in cash.
All right,
Says
so
the
2K has sent a statement to clarify its continued relationship with Gearbox. So 2K is going to stick with Gearbox.
So it says the acquisition makes Gearbox the company's 7th video game holding, along other companies like Deca and Saber. Oh, THQ owns Saber Interactive.
I think their their parent company owns it.
That's kind of cool. No, I mean, I think that this is like, I think this kind of is like out of left field. It feels like it came out of left field, but I mean, they don't even really like Gearbox is like they're a studio, right? But like they don't, other than Borderlands, like they really don't have anything like too crazy. Like they have, I'm looking at the article here.
Duke Nukem now, and
they did Aliens Colonial Marines. Woohoo! They fucked that game up. They did Duke Nukem Forever, and then they were in charge of Battleborn, which I have to say that game again, like god damn it, but
man, it made its way back into the podcast at least one more time.
I hope it doesn't again, but I feel like the price is definitely high considering that they don't really have, I mean, do they really have like an IP of their own?
I think the only IP that they own, or like it's co-owned or some shit like that, is Duke Nukem.
Which is a dead franchise anyway, so
maybe for now it's probably going to be coming back to life.
Well, maybe. THQ Nordic is they made some remasters, so you know, they're a good company.
Well, it's the latest one, Destroy All Humans, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
This actually reminds me, did you guys see this? I don't know if we talked about this a few weeks back. Did you see what is the giant fucking company in like Japan or China or whatever that they were looking at acquiring like EA, Activision, or Take-Two? Did you
Tencent?
Yeah, Tencent. Yeah, that's what it was. Did you
Tencent, they're a Chinese company.
Yeah, did you read those? Did you read that stuff? I don't know if we covered that when it happened, but like they were talking about buying EA, Activision, or Take-Two. Like
I think if anyone can do it, it's probably Tencent. They're like basically not the only. They're basically the richest like
video game
gaming company.
Yeah. I just remember hearing about that and I was like, there's no way these companies give in, but I guess if they give like trillions of dollars, I think it would have to be trillions of dollars exchange.
It is. It's a rumor. Tencent raising billions to buy EA, Take-Two, or others.
Yeah. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Tencent's like low-key a kind of scary company.
Well, they own like, I forget what like, I mean, they own a lot of stuff.
Well, right now, they own shares in like almost basically any gaming company. I know they flat out own Riot Games, which is the League of Legends guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the only company allowed to publish games and all that through China.
Oh, damn.
So like if you need, so like the big three, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, if they want any game to reach to China, they have to go through Tencent. And usually like the way Tencent like gets more leverage from them is they say, oh yeah, you can do that, but you gotta give us some shares of your company.
Yeah. So
it's kind of like almost like a hostile takeover.
Yeah.
Of all these companies.
Well, it's almost like they're dictating. So I'm reading through a list here. So they have full ownership of Riot Games, which is the developer of Valorant and League of Legends. They have full ownership of the Norwegian publisher Funcom. They have full ownership of the Hong Kong-based company Leo, and which is the parent company of Digital Extremes and Splash Damage. They have full ownership of the Swedish developer Shark Mob, which founded was founded in 2017 by ex-Ubisoft developers. They have 80% ownership in the New Zealand company Grinding Gear Games, which made Path of Exile. 84% ownership in Finnish mobile game developer Supercell, which makes Clash of Clans.
They have 40% of Epic Games.
Yeah, they have a 40% ownership of Epic Games. They have approximately 23% ownership of Don't Nod Entertainment, 20% ownership of Japanese publisher Marvelous. And then, well, they have a bunch of other, but I think the big one, I saw another big one. They have 15% ownership in the American mobile game developer Glue Mobile. 9% ownership in Frontier Developments. They have 5% ownership of holding company Activision Blizzard.
Ubisoft and Paradox, apparently.
5% ownership of France's Ubisoft. Yeah, they have they have a capital investment in Platinum Games. That's when I remember reading about that, and I was like, "Holy shit! This is actually crazy."
They're low key cool because, like with Platinum Games, it was either they get someone else to give them money, or they go back to making like just Nintendo games, and that's how we got like, the Marvelous 101, I think is what it's called. On like PlayStation 4 and shit like that, was because of that capital investment from Tencent.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like Tencent's buying up like a lot of game stuff, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, because Tencent is basically a subsidiary of the Chinese government, and
I mean,
this is just gonna get off like way off course if I keep talking about it. But
well, yeah, I mean,
stay straight in the field, wave straight, stay in the field.
I think it definitely has its positives and its negatives, because I mean, if they own a company, you would think that they could take a hit to create something better, because they would be pulling profit from somewhere else when they have so many profitable other operations. But it could also be like a stranglehold as well. So I mean,
I think apparently they're looking into buying 66% of stock in Disney also.
Dude, you gotta be kidding me. I don't think anyone has the money to do that. Like, there's no fucking way.
I think if like anyone, it's Tencent, but yeah, I mean, Tencent's
how much
low-key kind of.
How much? Let me see that real quick. How much is a Disney stock? Let's see. The Walt Disney Company. That's only $180 something a share.
How much is Tencent stock?
Tencent holding. It's like 98.
Yeah, but this company has like too much money, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking up, like, so if you go to Disney, they typically tell you. I mean, I can't look. I don't have it right here. They usually tell you like the amount of shares that they have, so you could roughly calculate like how much it would cost. But I can't find it right now. But goddamn, Disney's stock dropped hard at the end of January.
I wonder why.
Down to like 160, but now it's up to like 190. That's crazy.
Bruh, last year in March, Tencent was worth 44.54
billion.
I don't know, just looking at the shares right now.
Oh, well, I don't know if that'll happen, but sorry to get off topic there. I just remember reading about it, and this whole like THQ Nordic buying Gearbox like kind of made me think about it. But I don't back to this. I don't understand why. I mean, I guess THQ acquired them because Gearbox has the connections for like Borderlands and stuff, but like they don't have. I feel like you buy a company like kind of for their IPs, not really for their connections. But I guess you could buy them for their connections. So,
well, I mean, you buy them for their development studio too.
Well, yeah, but like you wouldn't buy something that's like they're not profitable, or they're not being profitable right now.
Well, I don't think you can say Gearbox isn't profitable.
Well, no, they definitely
like as much as like, yeah, as much as like I don't like Borderlands, like people fucking love Borderlands.
Well, yeah, there's definitely diehard people.
I wouldn't say I'm diehard, but I do enjoy the games.
I don't know. This one kind of came out of left field. I think there's been a lot of like acquisitions this year that's kind of like, holy fuck. Like when Microsoft like acquired Bethesda, it was kind of like, huh? Like no one really saw it coming, and the next thing you know, like Microsoft owns Bethesda, and it's like, what? Like what? Like, huh?
Not only just Bethesda too, like And they got like id Software, they got Arcane.
Oh yeah, they literally bought like
they got like
everything.
a bunch of good fucking studios.
Yeah, that is true. Like, I didn't want to like talk down to that, but yeah, that's true. And then like this whole like Gearbox thing is just like, what? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like, if there's another Borderlands game, it'll probably still have like Gearbox's logo and everything. Like,
I don't think a lot will change. Like,
No.
I don't think you'll be seeing THQ Nordic like
Yeah, because all these
splash screens popping off.
from what I understand, is that they're leaving everybody there. They're not touching it. Who's the owner? Who's running Gearbox? What's his name?
Randy Pitchford.
yeah, Randy
Yeah,
Pitchford.
he's still gonna run everything. So
They should take him out. But
yeah, that's what I said.
Well, you know
I
what's
don't like Randy.
You know what's crazy about THQ Nordic is they've just like they've literally lived off of like acquiring IP, like other IPs.
Yeah, remember when they were called Nordic?
Yeah, they were just called Nordic Games, and then they acquired THQ, and basically, well, THQ was already bankrupt. They essentially acquired a majority of THQ's IPs, and then literally just rebranded themselves as THQ Nordic because they had these IPs.
Well, they pretty much are literally THQ. Like, the only thing they don't have is the WWE license.
Yeah, which 2K has, which whatever. Those ones are they're fun to get released because they're fucking broken every year. So whatever.
Actually, no. THQ does not have WWE license no more. WWE went on to make their own games. They now own the AEW license.
Oh, interesting.
But that's what we said, that they don't have the WWE license.
Yeah, they don't.
I misunderstood. My bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because I think
Like, THQ Nordic is, like, is literally the THQ from, like,
Saber
before, but they don't
Interactive
have...
made the last WWE game.
Yeah, but they basically don't have WWE.
No.
And I guess the South Park games, too, if you want to count those, but...
yeah,
I want a South Park game.
I'm trying to think, like, I'm trying to go back to when they were called Nordic Games. Like, I'm trying to think about what game I remember seeing that had just, like, Nordic Games on it.
Wasn't that, what's it called? Fuck, I had the name of the game in my... Wasn't it Metro?
No, maybe. I'm thinking, I thought it was, like, fuck, dude.
No.
Well, when you look at THQ Nordic, like, it says, well, I typed in Nordic games, which is kind of like a funny way to say it, but yeah, I went there, but their release date starts in 2011, which doesn't make sense. Oh, here we go. No, fuck, man, I don't know. I could have swore that they had games before that, where they just had Nordic game. I'm gonna have to like look through my PS3 games because I remember it, but they
definitely did.
I'm just looking through right here. They have like Arcania. These are like some of the big ones that they did. Arcania, Painkiller, Hell and Damnation.
So they started in 2011.
Deadfall Adventures, which is like a low-key slapper that I want to play with like Andrew at some point. MX versus ATV.
Okay. So Embracer Group, the parent company, that was Nordic Games.
Yes.
And they switched that to Embracer Group and created THQ Nordic.
Yes, they were just called Nordic Games before, and then when they acquired all the THQ licensing, like a majority, they didn't acquire all of it because basically THQ went out of, they filed for bankruptcy, they were gone, but they still own these IPs. I think like these IPs went up for like bid or something at one point, and Nordic Games like acquired essentially all of their IPs, all of THQ's IPs, and then they changed their name to THQ Nordic instead of being Nordic Games. I think is like the series of events that's kind of how it kind of happened. But they've done.
I can't find like a list of games for that.
Well, I'm looking at a list of like THQ Nordic games. I can't find a game of like Nordics games, but They did like a lot of remasters, like and they have like MX vs ATV, Darksiders remaster, The Blob, Baja Edge of Control, Elix.
Isn't that all THQ stuff?
Like Baja is like Baja. MX vs ATV was,
I know the Blob was.
yeah, The Blob. A lot of like racing games that they did were like THQ. They did Wreckfest, which is what I'm playing now. Funny to tie it in. They did like the Monster Jam games. They did the new SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. They basically acquired SpongeBob, the SpongeBob IP from THQ. They acquired some. Oh, they have a deal with Nickelodeon, I think, for any Nickelodeon game. Because THQ did or something. There's like some connection there. They did Destroy All Humans, Biomutant at some point.
I think that game hasn't come out yet.
No, it hasn't come out, but it got like a release date. And then they have like a bunch of like remasters that they did, like Alan Wake's American Nightmare, Red Faction 2, Psychonauts, Siberia.
We're gonna end this topic here. Since,
yeah,
we're already at 2:11.
Yeah, I mean, we could literally go on forever, but basically, THQ Nordic used to be Nordic Games. Yeah, we get the backstory. We're just we're kind of falling down a rabbit hole.
Not much will change.
No.
This next one I wanted to pop in for Kadokawa and Sony cooperation along with this phone developer called Cyber Agent. So the significance of this one is Kadokawa is the parent company of From Software.
Yeah.
And they are making this alliance, basically. Cooperation, I guess, not alliance. Is for them to be able to make more IPs for themselves that they own themselves. Not, you know how, like, what's it called? Dark Souls and all those are owned by the other companies or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is Kadokawa trying to make their own IPs, from my understanding. And they're working with Sony for game development and movie development wise, apparently. Along with this other company called Cyber Agent, which is for more phone development stuff.
It's definitely interesting.
Yeah. This makes me wonder if there's another
game
cooperation or whatever that Sony and From Software are going to do. Because, you know, that's how we got Demon Souls and Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And I'm reading here at the bottom, it also says it may pave the way for the future acquisition by Kadokawa. Not by Kadokawa. Of Kadokawa.
What if... Damn, what if Elden Ring becomes like an exclusive?
I don't think Elden Ring can, because I think that might be under Bandai Namco.
Yeah, that's what it says at the bottom.
Yeah.
It will be multi-platform and published by Bandai Namco. However, as Sony owns the Bloodborne and Demon Souls IPs, Bandai Namco owns Dark Souls, and Activision owns Sekiro. It may pave the way for a future acquisition.
But this makes me wonder if maybe we'll get like probably not a Demon Souls 2, but maybe we'll get a Bloodborne 2 or a brand new IP in general.
I could see a Bloodborne remaster coming.
Man, a Bloodborne 2.
Because people have been asking for that for the 5.
People have been asking for a Bloodborne 2 since Bloodborne 1 came out.
That is true too.
I
really need to play Bloodborne.
I'm not sure where they could go from like a narrative standpoint, but I guess you could say that for like literally any Dark Souls game. So
yeah.
They'll figure it out. They'll confuse the fuck out of you somehow.
Just made a pre-sequel. There you go.
That would be interesting, actually.
There's probably a lot of ways you can go with it, actually.
Oh yeah, there's
like
definitely a lot of ways.
Like if you pick the ending where you turn into a slug boy or whatever, now like the next game you play as another hunter, but now you're stuck in the dream of that slug boy rather than like the moon presence.
That's true. That's true. Or you could do like like Brian said, you could do like a prequel kind of to Bloodborne. Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. I'm looking forward to Elden Ring because it has ties with George R.R. Martin, and even though Game of Thrones didn't end bad, it really wasn't his fault. The shit that he wrote for Game of Thrones when it was being filmed was like phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm curious to see where this cooperation goes, if it just kind of ends at like that or whatever. Or like maybe we'll get like exclusive like DLC or whatever for like future FromSoft games or something. I'm just curious to see where it goes.
Well, I'm sure we'll learn about it soon enough if it is something.
Right.
So.
All right.
Okay.
This next one.
Well, looking forward to it. So the next one I just added because we were talking about this during the week. I just thought it was interesting. I don't have like the tweet because Brian sent a screenshot of it, but
I mean, yeah, I can kind of give you the gist of it if you want.
Yeah. Essentially, WB secured the patent to the Nemesis system, which is seen in Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, which I think is just interesting because this can go, like Brian mentioned it when we were talking about it in the chat, like it could go like anywhere. It'd be cool to see like a Batman game with this.
Mm-hmm. That's where mine came from.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Or just like any game with this, any like, I guess like any like superhero type game with this, like this Nemesis system would be kind of cool.
Like imagine a Batman game like a random thug beats you, you know, and then he gets like promoted, or say like one of the main villains, say the Riddler, beats you. Then next time you face him, he's like more powerful, a little bit more powerful, and like the boss battle changes just a little bit.
Well, I was gonna say, I actually watched there's this YouTuber called Game Maker's Toolkit.
Okay.
And he did like a whole video on the Nemesis system and all that jazz, and WB Games is already working on implementing it on other franchises, not franchises, but their games or whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Isn't Suicide Squad coming out soon?
Huh?
Suicide Squad, the new game. Isn't that WB as well?
Yeah. Anything Batman's WB.
Wow, actually, that could actually be implemented to that, I think.
But apparently they're working on getting it done in a Batman game and a Harry Potter game.
Harry Potter would be cool too, yeah.
But
oh, that would be cool.
I was gonna say, it's cool, but it kind of sucks that it got patented. Because
yeah.
Now that means other developers can't use it, and there was this issue before with another patent from like the 80s. Not the 80s, the 90s actually. I think it was Konami that patented it. I'm not sure. But basically they got a patent to let you load like a mini game while a loading screen was on. And then you could play that little mini game while the loading screen was on.
Mm-hmm.
Like more specifically, I think it was Galaga that would play.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that patent, other developers couldn't use anything like that at all without getting sued. And this kind of applies to the Nemesis system because I'm pretty sure there were some games that had like a Nemesis-like kind of system. And I think that's because I think they tried to get the patent 5 years ago, from what I remember, but they kept getting it thrown out of court or whatever. I think now finally they got it like 100% certified. That's their patent.
Well,
so now like any game, so like if we wanted to see a Star Wars game and they didn't go to WB a Star Wars game with like a nemesis system. It's kind of like the bounty hunters in Jedi Fallen Order. If there wanted to be like a nemesis system with them, now we can't have that unless they go to WB Games or know that. And it kind of sucks that now it's only WB Games that can do nemesis system stuff.
It just sucks that like you can, like, I get the idea of like a patent or whatever for like I feel like a patent should be more for like an invention and not like almost like an idea. Like it's like the whole thing that you're talking about with like a mini game and a loading screen. Like unless you're copying that exact mini game that's happening in that loading screen, I feel like that's not like, you're basically patenting like an idea, which I guess like any invention or anything that you patent is an idea, but I feel like there's a difference between like an idea and then like someone patenting like fucking Flex Seal or something, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can always say like if someone was to have something like Flex Seal but it's not exactly Flex Seal and it has like one other aspect to it, then you know you would obviously, it would fall outside of the patent, where like you're saying if anyone creates anything even remotely similar to the Nemesis system, that they can have legal issues, which it's like, I think any game that was to implement something, even if they were alter it in any way, like you could use that as like they're copying us kind of, which does kind of suck. But like, I don't think I've ever seen the Nemesis system really used the way that it's used in like Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War, like in any other game.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, patents definitely suck, but I understand them because basically the person who thought of it wants to get paid for it, and they don't want people to steal their ideas. But like at the end of the day, like it's like this seems like more of like a general idea than like an invention of some sort, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm sure other people had this kind of idea, but it wasn't really fully realized till Shadow of Mordor came out.
Yeah, and then like the other thing that sucks with that is like the guy, you know, WB, whoever, you know, obviously like probably one person thought of the Nemesis system, or a group of people. Like they had to have obviously gotten their inspiration from somewhere else. So now if someone's to get inspiration from the Nemesis system and tweak it ever so slightly, but it's still based off the Nemesis system, since there's a patent for it, like more than likely it's going to get shot down, which, you know, kind of sucks. But
unless he sold the idea to WB.
Yeah, but if WB doesn't want it, then
then they're fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of
unless
sucks about
WB
this.
never re-optimized the patent when it expires, because I think patent can expire after a certain amount of time if not used for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like 120 years basically.
Yeah, it's a long time.
That's all right.
It's a long time. It just it does,
really is.
It does kind of suck, but like
I kind of wish they wouldn't. It's not like they can't implement it in their own games without a patent. There isn't really any point for the patent.
No, there wasn't.
Well, and I don't know how you can patent something like that. I mean, that's like someone taking like, it's like someone making like a Demolition Derby game and then saying, "Oh, I'm patenting Demolition Derby games." Like, what? Or, you know, like
it's
an
like
aspect, like, oh, well, when I crash my car, the fucking hood falls off of it, so I'm patenting the hood. Any game that the hood falls off, I have a patent for that. Like, what?
It's like they patented a wheel.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
That's what it feels like. That's what I'm saying. Like the whole idea of like a patent is like for like for a product, which obviously a video game is a product, but like I think it's the way it's implemented that is like the difference. Like I said, someone can patent Flex Seal, but if you make something like Flex Seal that is ever so slightly different, you know, then you're not breaking the patent. Whereas in this, if you have anything that resembles a Nemesis system where a random NPC kills you and is now promoted to some sort of captain rank, it can probably be classified under the Nemesis system. No matter what happens after that, you literally have the building block of a foundation that, like, the only way you could change it is like if someone kills you, you go into like a duel, and if they kill you again then they get promoted. You know what I mean? Like, you would have to alter it somehow, but then it kind of breaks the point of like what it was in the first place.
I think one system that would kind of be classified under this and would have probably gotten them in trouble if they hadn't patented it in time. Not patented it in time, but if they hadn't patented it earlier, is technically, remember in Odyssey the mercenaries?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It doesn't work exactly like it, but it kind of works like it, you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so what classifies the nemesis system? Is a nemesis system classified as a random NPC kills you, they're promoted to some higher rank that now has served some importance to a game? Like, there has to be legality behind it, and like a description to what it is. Like you said, with Waves with the Odyssey, is that classified under the nemesis system because those bounty hunters that are hunting you, they didn't really start from nothing. They're already like predetermined people. Yeah, if they kill you, they level up and shit. But like, is that technically classified as a nemesis system? Because then you're saying when any enemy kills you in any game that has any sort of leveling to it, if they level up, it's part of the nemesis. You know, like it kind of gets into like a slippery slope of like what is actually classified.
Yeah.
As the nemesis system.
This is why I personally against like patents when it comes to like game technology, I guess. Not like fucking VR shit or some shit like that, but mechanics and systems.
Well, and yeah, and like if you're making the thing that's irritating is like you're patenting something that you've only done twice. Like if you've done it time and time again and like you're actually using your patent, like cool. But like it's not even like they're doing that. Like that's what's irritating. Like you want to keep your patent, you want people to use that system, then make the best games that are that system and allow other people to also do it so that there's competition, because that's how you create that's how you get good games, is by creating competition. Be known as the person that's always made a good nemesis system, not the person that's capitalized on the nemesis system and didn't allow anyone else to use it.
Yeah. It's also kind of like Into the Spider-Verse, the movie. Their techniques or whatever that they used to make that movie, because they did like hand animated everything while also 3D animating it at a different frame rate, which kind of gives it that comic book feel.
Yeah.
Sony patented that, and so that now means that like so now people were confused, because now they're like, oh, so if we make something that's kind of comic book feely, animation wise, are we gonna get sued for that and everything like that? And it's also like it's not like they created that technique. There were other
predecessors
movies and predecessors, not predators, predecessors that used those techniques and everything. So they were not even like, it's not even like patenting a new technology, it's like patenting a technique.
It's like,
and that gets into another slippery slope and all that jazz.
It's like patenting a technology that's already been there, but you're the one that's now going to pay the money to keep it. That's what it comes down to, just paying the money to keep it. But yeah, I mean, that's why I think like patents are kind of just stupid in general. Like, I understand if you're going to patent something that's like a big invention or something like big like that, you know what I mean? Like the person who created the telephone, right? Like, sure, you literally created the telephone. Yeah, you can patent that, you know? Like, that's completely understandable. You've created a technology that no one has been able to create and is changing lives. It's changing everything. But like, I don't know. I just feel like an idea like the nemesis system, like what is the description that classifies a nemesis system that other games are now not allowed to use? Like there has to be like a checklist of items that you cannot use that classify it as a nemesis system.
Yeah. And we won't ever really find that out unless a company is bold enough to take it on, which is probably not going to happen.
No.
or if
documents
we
get
ever
leaked.
get to see those legal documents.
Yeah, something gets leaked. But I mean, it is kind of annoying, but hopefully WB doesn't take this in the stance of like, we have this now, but we're not going to use it, because like I said, they've only implemented this into 2 games. And there's so many, and they've got a patent for it. Like, it's a little irritating, but we can.
This makes me wonder, because if what's it called? If Monolith, the reason we haven't seen like anything from them is because all they've been doing is just like tweaking and working on the Nemesis system to apply it to other WB games.
That's a good idea, like almost like a Nemesis system template for like other games.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see if what's that game? Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad and the Harry Potter game probably already have it in. Probably not Gotham Knights, because I think that's like a co-op only game.
Right, but Suicide Squad is online based, right?
I'm not sure. I don't remember much about that, but it makes me wonder if those two already have it like in it in some way. But I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully they implement it, but only time will tell.
And now for story time with Snickle.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's story time, but it's going to be our last like topic here. Since, you know, Waves did make a good point before we started the podcast that this is kind of like a trophy podcast, so we should probably have some sort of trophy topic to discuss, other than, you know, games we've been playing. So one thing that I've been dealing with recently, which has been very irritating to me, is, and I think it's irritating to everyone that does it at some point, but boosting multiplayer games. I think everyone can agree that when you're trying to boost a multiplayer game, it's annoying when you're trying to do it with random people. When we're doing like Enemy Front, or Waves and I are doing Dark Awake, or whatever we play in the future, if we're playing with people that we know, like the 3 of us, or we play with some other people that we know, it's not a big deal. We know everyone's schedule. We know when people can be on. We know that people live lives. Like, people know that. But recently, I've been trying to do the GTA 5 Heist DLC on the PlayStation 3, because I want to get GTA 5 platinumed on the PS3, and I refuse to do that until I get the DLC done. So I've been trying to find people to do it, because I've asked like Waves and Cats and everyone to do it, but they won't do it because they don't have what's that one trophy, Waves, in the base game?
I'm not sure what it's called, but it's the one for,
I think it's called like
killing someone who put a bounty on you or something like that.
Gone from the Wind or something like that. Run like the Wind. Run like the Wind. Survive a bounty with survive with a bounty on your head. On the PS3 version, it's like taken out of the game, so you can't even do it. And people have said like, well, there's hackers that can do it. You know, just find them. Well, that's like literally impossible. So I don't know how to do that. And I don't think I would ever do that or ask anyone to do that. But so anyway, I've been trying to find random people to do the game with, since I don't know anybody that wants to do it. By the way, if you want to do GTA 5 on the PS3, please let me know to save me from this madness. So what I've been doing is I've been going and I set up a session on PSN Profiles, which, by the way, this is like one of the worst things that I do. I hate doing this because the people on this site have like no brain usually. It's so hard to deal with these people. So the first time I set a session up and I put in the trophies that I want to earn, like you're supposed to do. I put in the description that like the time that's on here is not the time we're going to be playing. I want to find 4 dedicated people to start and finish the DLC with, and like we're going to be playing just the 4 of us together. We're going to be planning on playing like PM Eastern time. So if you can't make that time, don't join. Like literally don't join. And I set it to 4 people because I want to find 4 people. Typically, when I would like boost a game, I would set it to unlimited, and then I would just like invite everyone, and then the first 4 to show up would get it. But like, I don't want to do that in this case. I want to do this game with 4 people, like at all times. So the first time around, I found 4 people. I found this one guy who's like very flexible. He's like, I'll play whenever. He's in Europe, but like he was like, I'll play whenever. I don't care. I found another guy that's like kind of flexible, but not as flexible as the first guy. And then I found this third guy that seemed very flexible, but he was part of this group of people that wanted to invite people to PSN group messages. Now, I put a tweet out about this like a few weeks ago. It might not even have been a few weeks ago. I put a tweet out about this a while ago. I wish Sony would just get rid of the PSN group message. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I wish that they would just like get rid of them. I'm so tired of them. Like, people just invite you to these group messages because you say you want to boost the game, and they're like, oh, you want to boost the game? I'll just throw you in this group message with like 300 people. Like, that's not what I wanted. Don't fucking invite me to some group message because you're trying to help me, because you're not helping me. I actually recently turned my messages off on my, like, unless you're a friend with me, you can't send me a message. Because I'm tired of dealing with this bullshit all the time. So, anyway, this one guy, he ends up, like, so we're in the group, we're in the Discord with the 4 of us, and he's like, oh, I got the game done. I'm going to be playing something else. I literally booted this man. I was like, dude, these people not read, like, what the boosting session says. The boosting session says, I want to find 4 people to do the whole game with. It doesn't mean I'm looking for 4 people. One of these guys, go and beat it and do everything on your own and say fuck the 3 other ones. That's not what it said. I'm looking for 4 people to do the whole thing with. I'm not trying to join a group message where when I'm free I say, "Hey guys, I'm free for 2 hours. Anyone want to hop on and play?" No, that's the most inefficient way to get shit done. That's not how it works. So anyway, I made another boosting session, and I was trying to find people to replace the people that fucked up. And this guy from the group of 300, this must be like the ringleader or whatever, he like joins the session again, and he's trying to like cherry pick all the people that join the session. Hey, we have a PSN message. I'll invite you to it so you can join with us. Hey, I banned him from the thing. I delete his messages. So I go and check the boosting session today to see what's going on. And he leaves a message again, and he's like, I don't know what's going on with this host guy. No, what's going on with me is you don't know how to fucking read, my dude. I said I want to find 4 people, not be invited to your 300-person fucking PS3 GTA 5 boosting session where I get to play with people that don't even speak English to get trophies done. That's not what I'm gonna do, okay? So stop fucking joining this. Stop sending messages. Stop inviting me to I don't want any of this. Do you not know how to read? Are you not getting the gist that I ban you from everything because you won't shut up? So I'm currently still trying to find people. And the other annoying thing that I'm dealing with boosting with people is people join sessions to boost, and then they have their messages to close. Now, granted, I did just say that I closed my messages, but typically I'm not the one joining boosting sessions. I'm the one hosting the boosting sessions. So people usually aren't messaging me. But like, if you join a session and you're like, hey, I want to do this, add me on PSN, and I fucking add you, and you don't add me back, or I try to message you and your messages are off, well, how am I supposed to contact you? You're not on Discord. You're not like, how am I supposed to get in contact with you to do the game? Like, I don't understand it. I truly don't understand. And it's like people don't know how to read. They say, like, they look at it and they say, oh shit, this guy's boosting GTA 5 Heist DLC. Yup, I'll join it. And they don't read anything else that's going on. Like, it's awful.
Yeah, no, I think we've talked about this before. I've never had like a good experience doing PSNP boosts.
Yeah, and like I typically don't go to it, like I said, because I try to find people that want to do it that I know. Like, I'll go head over heels to find people that I know that I feel comfortable with boosting it. I will find random people if I have to, but like, I'm just so tired of the joining sessions, the not communicating. Like, I get it, dude. We're trophy hunters. Some of these people are probably fucking weird or something. Like, I totally get it. I totally understand it. But like, can we just communicate just one message? I'm not asking for a lot. Just one little message. Or like when I'm in the Discord chat with 4 other guys and I'm saying, what's everyone's schedule this week? And I get a response from one person. How the fuck am I supposed to organize anything if only one person's responding? Like, what?
Yeah. No, this reminds me of, like, group projects, like, in school. It's always, like, either you who has to be on top of everyone and, like, get everyone to do basically their job, or else it's not going to get done. And then it sucks also when someone's not talking at all. And, like, I get it, like you said, with trophy hunters, a lot of us are probably introverted people, and a lot of us are also probably super weird or whatever. But, I mean, you joined the boosting session. A part of boosting is the communication. It's not like people are just going to get on and then everybody's going to know what to do or whatever. You have to be able to communicate and all that.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm saying, like, we need to join a call to communicate or anything. Like, to be fair, I don't even want to be in a call when we're doing this. Like, if anything, we'll just be sitting doing our own thing. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, we don't have to be in a call. I just want to know when people are free so we can organize a time. I'm not asking for your social security number. I'm not asking you to pay money. Like, literally tell me what day and what time you're free. You can't do this weekend? Cool, we'll plan something else. You're not going to hurt my fucking feelings. Like, can we just have a little bit of communication? And then you got these people coming in here trying to poach left and right. Well, I got a PSN group chat with 300 people. Cool. I don't fucking care, dude. Like, I don't give a shit. That's not what I'm looking for. Like,
yeah.
It's so irritating. And, like, situations like this are why I despise using PSMP. And it has nothing to do with Sly. It has nothing to do with the website in general. I think that the website is set up very well in creating sessions, with saying what trophies you want to earn, being able to put descriptions in to say what you're looking for, being able to change times, being able to, if you're the session like host, being able to ban people, delete like, there's control over everything that you're able to do. I think the site is set up perfectly. It comes down to the people. There's no way of dealing with these idiots. Like, that's what they are at the end of the day. They're idiots. Like, maybe I shouldn't say that. That's a little harsh. But, like, it's just like a little bit of communication goes a long way. And, like, I know that these people don't join this session and they know me personally, but, like, if anybody knows me, I'm, like, the most chill person. I don't fucking care. You're not free on Friday? Cool, we'll do next week. I don't care. Just communicate. Like, that's all I ask for. Just communicate. Like, we've been talking about doing Enemy Front for, like, 3 months. Do I give a fuck? No, we'll get it done at some point. I don't care. Like, I don't care. People have lives. Waves is in school. Brian works all the time. I work all the time. I disappear on the weekends. Like, it's life. Life happens. I don't expect you to be doing trophies 24/7 and be free for everything. But if you're going to join the session, read the description, first of all. If you can't make that time, don't join it. That's step 1. Step 2, if you do join it, if I try to contact you, fucking respond so we can organize something. Like,
yeah.
I don't get it. Like, we're not dealing with rocket science here. It's not rocket science, but apparently it is. So, I don't know what's going on now with GTA 5 on the PS3. Again, if anyone's interested, please let me know. I have at least one guy that's pretty dedicated and open to any time. We're going to be doing, would like to do PM Eastern, and we can literally get it done in a week. Like, it can take no time at all. I've had 3 to 4 people join and or message in this boosting session that I set up, and I've not heard from any of them. So that's kind of cool. So I just don't know. I don't know what to do. If you want me to be honest. Like, I don't know. My last resort, I guess, is going to be add me to that 300-person group message, and I guess I'm going to be asking people who's on to do shit. But I truly don't want to do that.
I think at some point You might just have to, call it,
Like it's
Just bite the bullet.
There has to be people out there that want to do it, and like it's just like I said, it's not even like we need to do it every day. We can play one day a week. I don't care. Like as long as it's progress being made and people actually show up, I don't care when it happens. But like I feel like people join these sessions and then there's like no communication, or like people join. Another thing that irritates me is if I'm the one hosting the session and I fucking say on the thing, like, we will be using Discord, and then some guy never answers, and then he's like, well, you never messaged me on PSN. Did you not read the description? I said we're doing it on Discord, not fucking PSN. Like, open your eyeballs. Like, that's not what I said. I'm the one hosting the session, not you. So if I say we're doing it this way, that's the way that it's going to be done. Like, I'm not trying to sound like a dictator, but if you want to go and host your own session and do it through PSN messages, go right ahead. But that's not how we're doing it. Like, it's very, very frustrating. If I could set up my extra PS3s, I would. And you know what? I might have to, because I have 2 copies of GTA 5 on the PS3.
Don't you need 4 people?
I need 4, but if I use the other guy that's pretty reliable, I just need to find one more. So I don't know how feasible that is, but that may be an option at some point.
I don't know. At that point, it just sounds like too much work.
Right.
I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. And this is one of the reasons why, like, I don't boost games unless I have people to play with. Like, that's why, like, when I said to Brian, like, hey, you want to do the show? And he's like, yeah. If Brian said no, I probably would have been like, all right, I'm not doing it. But as long as, someone's interested that we can actually do it, like, then I'm down.
And I'll actually show up. Yeah.
Yeah. Or actually, like, say a word, like, actually communicate. Like, it's super irritating.
Well, if I don't communicate, then we got a problem.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I understand.
So that's my little PSMP gaming sessions rant, and it's irritating. I want to be done with it. Like, GTA 5 on the PS3 has been something that I've been thinking about for, like, months, if not years, that I want to finish. So when it's done, I'll be happy, but I just don't understand why people just can't communicate. Like, literally, you communicate, we'll get your trophy done. Like I said, you don't have to know me personally. I'm a nice person. If I say we're gonna get it done, we're gonna get it done. You can ask Waves, you can ask Brian, you can ask Andrew, you can ask Katz. Did we get MK9 done before the servers went down, guys?
Yes.
Yep.
Did we get MK10 done?
Yes. Well, me and you did.
Did I help Waves? Did I coach Waves through the Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor Hunt of the Mistress trophy, Waves? Did I?
Yeah.
Yes.
If I say we're gonna get it done, we're gonna get it done. Like,
we got The Last of Us remastered done.
Yeah. Did we get The Last of Us remastered done? Did I get The Last of Us done? Like, did we get Ghost
Air
of Tsushima?
Conflicts Vietnam.
Yeah. Did we get Air Conflicts done? Did we get the Ghost of Tsushima raid done?
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Star Wars Battlefront 1. Did we get this done? Yes. It's not fucking rocket science. Just, like, listen and communicate. That's all I ask for. But again, third and final plea, please, if you want to do GTA 5 on the PS3, please contact me on Discord, please.
Or if you know a hacker.
Contact me anywhere. It doesn't have to be on... please have a Discord so we can talk, but contact me on Twitter, the comments. I don't care. Contact me. Please save me from this madness, because I can't deal with these brainless people anymore. I just can't.
Man. Snooze
Sounds like he's about to cry.
No, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry over some notifications. I'm pleading right now that somebody appears. But that's my rant.
Man. He's going to have some random lady knock on his door at like 3 in the morning. So I want to do Grand Theft Auto.
I'm going to say, yep, come on right in. I actually got an extra PS3, extra copy of the game. Just roll on. We'll be good to go.
I'm done.
You need anything else? You need a glass of water? You need me to make you want a grilled cheese? You want some glizzies? Anything you want, I got.
Some glizzies.
Go ahead. Anything you want, I got it. You want a bowl of ice cream? I got you.
You want my soul? Go ahead.
Go ahead. If that's all it takes, go right ahead. But I have,
David Stickle.
I have to say this. I feel like you guys have some weird. You get some weird satisfaction when I rant over some dumb ass shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
It makes me feel better.
No, I mean I'm just enjoying the show, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It really is, because it's so entertaining to hear you talk about this, and then I'm like, this is funny as shit.
I mean, this is it at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck. Like, it truly doesn't bother me, but I will just go the fuck off for no reason. But just so you know, it actually, like, doesn't bother me. Like, GTA 5 can sit there for another 5 fucking years. I don't care. But, like, I would like to get it done, but I don't care. Like...
Believe
it is
me,
what it
I
is.
stay up till like 4 in the morning a couple times, him just boosting the game by himself or whatever, just keeping him company. And the fucking conversations are funny as shit, so...
Snickle will be boosting multiplayer until the day he dies.
Yep, on the PS and 3 too.
And they're all gonna be PS3
Yep. Yep, you're damn right.
The PS7 will be out.
That's where the hard multiplayer is. They took it all out on the PS4. They said, "Oh shit, this is too hard." Okay.
You're like, oh man, we shouldn't have a trophy for them logging in every single day for 7 months.
Hey man, some of those you can manipulate and get it done in 12 hours. Just change the date on your PlayStation.
Just sit there with a calendar.
Yeah. I mean, shit comes out of it. Like, at the end of the day, like, I think it's funny to look back on. Like, when I was doing my trophy talk this week and thinking back on Battlefield Hardline, like, what a fucking shit show, dude. Like, what a nightmare. Like, I feel like if you told anyone what happened there, like, they wouldn't believe you unless you were there. But, like, jeez. It's funny.
I think I messaged you that. I was driving to work listening to that, and I'm like, alright. That made my ride into work today fucking better, because I was just laughing when you get to the Hardline part.
I remember when we did that Sonic racing game on the Vita.
Yeah.
And there's that guy who kept complaining about not getting his trophy, and he couldn't get it because he didn't have like the character unlocked or some shit.
Yeah, that shit was funny. I left. He said, "Wait, why? Like, I don't have." He was like, so and so needs to come back because I don't have like Shadow or something like that. Because the guy who had the character like left, and everyone got their trophy, but this one guy. And he's like, "Yo, the guy who's the guy who is Shadow needs to come back." And like Waves and I at first were like, "All right, we'll like stick around for a few minutes. Like, we'll see if the guy shows back up." Guy never showed back up. I said, "Well, it's kind of that guy's fault now. Like, he can bitch at the guy that." That had Shadow, like, it ain't my fault anymore. I remember doing the Sonic Transformed with, like, Andrew on the PS3. It was, like, Andrew in Retro, and one of the trophies was to have, like... Fuck, where is it? Hold on. Let me look this shit up. It was, like, Sonic... I think it was Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed on the PS3. I think it was different on the PS3 because there was, like, more functions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was this one. So it was this trophy at the bottom. It's called Team Sonic. It says finish first, second, third, and fourth with local friends in a 10-player race, right? Doesn't sound too bad, right?
Yeah.
So what it means is you have to have 4 controllers connected, go into a multiplayer match with your 4 controllers, with someone else using 4 controllers and someone else using 2 or like 3 and 3. You have to finish the race first, second, third, and fourth with each of your characters, and then everyone else has to finish. Now, the reason it wasn't bad for me or Andrew because we had enough controllers, but where it got interesting was Retro because he didn't have enough controllers. He didn't have 4 controllers, like normal controllers.
Yeah.
This motherfucker was using the Guitar Hero guitar to race as his 4th player.
No fucking way.
I think he might have used the drums as well, but like that was another one I remember. But I was just like, what are we doing? It took us so long to finish that, but that shit was hilarious. Why does All-Star Racing Transform just have so many memories on the PS3 and the Vita? Yeah, it was.
I just want you to stream you draw again.
Well, it was that same trophy on the Vita was the one that fucked that guy, Team Sonic. It was raced in an ad hoc or online game with Sonic, Tails, Amy, Shadow, and Knuckles. And you had to unlock Shadow. And the guy with Shadow just fucking left. Oh, you draw. Don't even get me started.
I've never had like a good boosting session when it came to PSNP. That's why I like stray far away from it, even if it's a game I want to get done.
Well, I typically will ask around. If you want to be honest, I don't think I've actually like added everyone in the server to ask about GTA 5, which I should probably do. In all honesty,
yeah, do it right now.
I'll do it after, but like, yeah, I should probably do that because I don't think I actually did that. But yeah, man, I would. If you're trying to boost the game and you want to host it, stay away from PSNP. If you want to join other people's sessions, I mean, go right ahead. I mean, if you're joining, I feel like if you're joining a session, it's different because I feel like as someone joining someone else's session, you should go along with whatever they're saying. Like, they're the host, you're just following them to get the shit done. Sometimes they don't know what they're doing, and you have to work together. Completely, you know, understandable. But for the most part, if I was to join some, like, if Waves wants to boost the game, right? If Waves says, hey, I want to do DOA 5 on a PS3. And I wanted to do it too, but I didn't really know, like, I own the game, and I was like, yeah, sure. For the most part, I would be like, yeah, Waves, and I would join him, and I would kind of just listen to whatever the fuck he says, and I would do it. Even if I knew Waves as Waves, or I knew Waves as a stranger, if he told me to do it that way, I would probably do it. Like, because that's typically what you do. I hate when you're, like, hosting a session, and people come in, and they try to act like they're the host. Like, nah, if you want to host it, go fucking host it on your own, dude. Like, don't join my session and try to act like you're gonna run the table here.
I hate it when they're the host, but they don't know what to do. So then you have to end up hosting it.
Well, yeah, and that's understandable if you're hosting it and you say that. Like, you're saying, hey, I'm boosting this. I want to boost this game. Like, I don't necessarily want to be the host. I'm just looking for people. What, like, I don't really know what to do. We need it. Like, that's understandable if you're like upfront about it and you're just trying to find a group of people. But I think people need to say that. It's almost like people expect people to join and then the people joining become the host, which is like it's dumb.
They're expecting like for everyone to just know what to do.
Oh yeah, that
or whatever.
Yeah, that's also super annoying if you're like boosting something and someone's like, well, why the fuck aren't you over there? Dude, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I read what the trophies were. I didn't read on like the method, or like they use some method that's not even like listed on like how to do it. Like, what? How was I supposed to know that? What?
Yeah. It's dumb.
Yeah. So that's boosting sessions that's really boosting sessions anywhere with random people, honestly. But we can move on from that. That's our last topic of the day.
Yeah, that's our last one.
Good. Yeah, we'll end with another 30-minute rant of absolutely nothing.
Let's see what our time is at right now. Oh man, it might hit 3 hours. We'll see.
No, we gotta end it. We gotta end it before the 3 hours.
All right. Thank you for coming to the Rogue Hunters podcast.
Please like, comment, subscribe, add us on Twitter. If you got any questions, throw them into the
description down below.
If you got a topic, we got 1:20. Come on.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah. If you guys have a topic, leave it in the comments. Message us on Twitter, join the Discord, whatever. Just get in contact with us. We'll add it to the next, or maybe not the next podcast, but upcoming podcasts. And thank you guys for subscribing and supporting podcast. And all that stuff.
Bro,
I gotta take a piss.
Piss.
I really gotta piss.